Hey, thanks for clicking on the video. This is going to be another episode of SNTR Gaming News covering the fact that Sony bought Bungie, sort of. This has been big news. It kind of interrupted the stream yesterday. We decided to cover it because I don't particularly like covering Destiny or Bungie, but we figured it would be a huge distraction if we decided not to cover it, so I've got a nice little outline for us here. We try to put the bulk of the sort of the meat of the content right here at the front of the video, and so I'm going to give you a brief summary, and then we discuss it for a couple of hours. So if you're watching the past broadcast, make sure and hit subscribe and the bell button so you don't miss our discussions. We cover a whole host of content from software games to MMOs to even some of the bigger anticipated games like Horizon Forbidden West and God of War. This is an SNTR update. Sony has purchased Bungie in a pretty unique way comparatively to other acquisitions that have happened recently. Sony and Bungie both detailing sort of the specifics of what this will look like. If you like these SNTR updates, hit subscribe and the bell button so you don't miss these uploads. So officially from the Sony blog, to immediately dispel any notion that this means that suddenly you're not going to be able to play games on certain platforms, Jim Ryan sets the stage and says, first off, I want to be very clear to the community that Bungie will remain an independent and multi-platform studio and publisher. This was likely something that Bungie pushed for with their history, both with Microsoft as well as Activision, saying, listen, we're not even going to let the ink touch the paper unless we maintain our independence and multi-platform studio. We are not looking to become a first-party Sony platform where we put all of our games, future games, current games, or whatever onto just the Sony platform. They are interested in Bungie's sort of live service multi-platform expertise. Continuing in the Sony blog, they said, Bungie's world-class expertise in multi-platform development and live game services will help us deliver on our vision of expanding PlayStation to hundreds of millions of gamers. Bungie is a great innovator and has developed incredible proprietary tools that will help PlayStation studios achieve new heights under Herman Hulst's leadership. So the incentive for Sony, I'll get to Bungie's incentive in a moment. The incentive for Sony here is that they want the tech and the expertise, and they are wanting to get into multi-platform presence. This is not a secret, I don't think. Sony's willingness to start putting their first-party, games on the PC platform. They are not so narrow in their strategy any longer. Now, what is this sort of the motivation for Bungie? It does seem strange that if you're going to go independent, to suddenly not be independent or to suddenly be owned by somebody. For Bungie, this is about capital, and according to Pete Parsons from the Bungie blog, he said, with Sony's support, the most immediate change you will see is an acceleration in hiring talent across the entire studio to support our ambitious vision. If this speaks to you and you want to help us put a dent in the universe, we are hiring across all disciplines for Destiny 2 and for all new worlds beyond. So they are looking for capital. If you've ever watched the show Shark Tank, you'll see very successful businesses approach the sharks and say, listen, we're running really, really well. We've got tons of, profit, but we want to expand. We want more, and we need capital to do that. Bungie outlined their plans to expand. They want to put a studio in Amsterdam. They want to expand their studio space. They want to get into publishing. You can't really do that if you're only really making money from one game. You need investors, or in this case, you need immediate capital, and, a couple of billion will do just fine. Now, Sony is going to want, I think, more than just expertise. I do think they're going to want royalty share on property that Bungie owns and creates, so you may see some changes going forward in games like Destiny with respect to microtransactions as well as how they make their money, because Sony's wanting a cut of that. Now, this doesn't mean that Destiny is suddenly only going to be available on PlayStation, or that suddenly all their new games and forthcoming games are going to be only on the PlayStation. They are independent for now. We know these types of contracts and deals can change shape over the years. Bungie probably very guarded against overreach with their experience from Activision and Microsoft. They want that independence, but they really, really needed the capital. And honestly, Sony tends to be hands-off with their developers, even their first-party developers. They don't really seem to be involved. They just demand excellence. And in this case, they're going to demand excellence and a return of investment. We'll see how it shakes out. As always, we'll see you in the next video. This is SNTR Updates. I don't know why I did a different outro there, but good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Thank you so much for being here. Didn't really want to cover this, but didn't feel I really had a choice. I felt like, people were going to be coming in that would be constantly asking about it. So we were like, okay, I guess we'll have to cover it. We weren't given much of a choice yesterday. Welfare Rockstar coming in with a brand new membership. Hey, listen, a lot of you never come around unless I talk Destiny or Bungie. So why don't you jump on a member train? Jump on Welfare Rockstar's member train. All right, we've been covering a ridiculous amount of gaming news for like months now since we moved the show over here in September. And I know a lot of you probably haven't been here since we made that move, and you're like, okay, well, he's going to talk Bungie. I want to be there. Well, I'm happy to talk with you guys and happy to see some familiar faces and some old names. But you should really be here every day. We do a great show. A lot of variety, a lot of From Software and Elden Ring coverage, a lot of MMOs. February is about to be a huge game for a huge month for games, and we would appreciate you guys coming around. We like the debates, the discussions, and the morning talk show has been excellent. We're gonna ask you guys a poll just a second in the chat. Love the content, great listen to with a cup of Rageless Roast. Yes, and don't forget, use code GETFRICKED. We're moving through the Frickmas blend, all right? This is the last month it's going to be available. So if you haven't snagged this was our most double dip hype. Thank you, Welfare Rockstar, for the double dip hype. A member on both channels. You are a rock star. And for the $5 tip. This was our most popular flavor in December and November, the Frickmas blend, and we are now doing a big sale on it. Use code GETFRICKED. And you'll get 20% off all of February. Once we're out of February, this is gone. So if you haven't been here in a while, we did launch the Rageless Roast. We have a light roast and a dark roast of the original flavor. And then we had the holiday flavor that we launched in end of October into November. So appreciate you guys being here. What flavor is the Frickmas blend? It's a Mexican-sourced bean. It's a medium roast. It's a medium roast coffee. It's got a bright seasonal and crisp finish and balanced acidity. This is Madam Crumpet's favorite. This is my wife's favorite coffee. So, yo, Wolfie coming in with a tier 1. Thank you, Wolfie. Thank you for doing a membership here. You probably have a membership on the other channel as well, so I appreciate that, Wolfie. Yo, Feed coming in. Morning, good sir. Awesome day in stream. What's good to see? Good to see you in the chat, Feed. Double dipping for all the dreg licking. Yeah, listen, we take our shots because we can. We take our shots because we can, okay? We've been breaking our backs trying to reinvent the brand and the business and moving the live show. And, it would have been a little bit easier if if all of you really diehard Destiny fans would have helped us a little bit. But I get it. I understand. Destiny is home. Destiny's your hobby, and you don't care to hear me talk about PlayStation games or From Software games, or you don't care about Sekiro or Dark Souls. I get it. I don't expect you to watch content you've no interest in, but we're gonna give you little light jabs here and there when we only see folks when they're here for the Destiny coverage. Wolvie, you're here pretty regularly. I'm not talking about Wolvie, just so we're clear. He said dreg liquor, so that's what made me think of it. Yo, what's good, Agent Atwood? How are you? Good to see you. I will tell you this, I miss your Destiny content. There was nothing like it. Yeah, there'll never be anything like it. So, they can enjoy that power vacancy and launch, I don't know, has-been podcasts. I don't really care. I had a feeling for sure we would talk about this. I didn't feel I had a choice. I really didn't feel I had a choice because basically We covered the Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard thing. Like, let's not be stupid here. Like, the day we covered Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard, it was a huge day, okay? A ton of people came in that day too, and that had nothing to do with Destiny. So, you know, we're being a little tongue-in-cheek with some of y'all, but, you know, it's clear an acquisition like this is big news. It'd have been stupid to not cover it. It'd have been stupid to not run it down. I just thought you knew Destiny so well. I could have listened to you talk about how to make the game better all day. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I know you guys miss it, and I get why you miss it. But we've actually crafted, I think, a much better show in the evolution of this channel and brand and show. Is how conflicted is the Sony shill in you right now? Yeah, I should have put up. I had the Sony disc plates up yesterday because we were covering Forbidden West, so I slapped them up there. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to be a Bungie shill now that they own the enemy. That's a joke, by the way. That's a joke. I'm not a Sony shill, but anytime I've talked about Sony, that's what I get told. I'm apparently super anti-Microsoft. You joined a split screen as a member. That's awesome, Atwood. Thank you for doing that. We appreciate that. Souls is a part of the Souls cult now. Yeah, you killed me. I'm one of the tarnished ones, though. So I've come back from the dead, and I've resurrected in I think a better community personally, in my experience at least. I've had a better experience with that than I did in the as far as like the critical trollish nature, you know what I mean? Like I don't know. I've had a better experience. I missed the pre-content. Lono guesses and him being so right post-content. Well, yeah. I mean, we're doing that in another way. We made predictions about Valkyrie. We made predictions about Valkyrie, and we were right. I think my argumentation was lock solid. Just you wait. Pokemon's coming over here. Her friend's probably coming over here. There are big things happening on YouTube this year. Just you frickin' wait. It's going to be a big year for YouTube. Folks are going to regret. Folks are going to regret it. They're going to be like, oh, man. You kicked me out of a mansion, and I'm going to attach myself to a rocket ship. So, you know, just watch the frickin' horizons. Famous Frosty coming in with a $15 tip. Love your shows, mate. Hope you and the fam are doing well. New World is calling. The New World's got to do more. New World needs some new stuff, okay? If I'm going to go back to New World, I liked it. I think they're awesome. I think they care about their game. But at the same time, we need more to do in that game. Silent Warrior coming in with half a year of membership. Here for the Dark Roast, and the great content. Thank you very much for renewing, Silent Warrior. Listen, if you haven't been here in a while, let me just show you something. Let me show you a little something. I'm gonna take you guys on a tour because you'll be here today, and I won't see some of you for another year. All right, so let me show you some stuff. Okay, let me show you some stuff. Let me just show you what you've been missing out on, okay? This is SNTR Gaming right here. We're covering Horizon Forbidden West, Elden Ring. We showed off Uncharted Legacy of Thieves. We're playing through Sekiro. We covered the Dying Light 2 roadmap. We covered the Sea of Thieves live event. Halo Infinite. We've got a Halo Infinite show this afternoon. Lost Ark. We covered that. God of War Ragnarok with Sony teasing a release date. I also did a really good episode on why I think Ragnarok's coming to PC based on interviews and information from the developers themselves. We looked at the New World January dev breakdown. Okay, we covered Microsoft buying Activision. Listen, I'm showing you all this to show you that this channel is alive and well and covering lots of different stuff. It's the same show. It's video game radio, and it's more than just one shade of color. Okay, it's not just one game anymore. It's so many different types of games, so many different types of communities. So listen. Set your bell to all. Make sure you're subscribed. Consider becoming a member. Maybe order some coffee. We got the Get Fricked sale going on right now. Get Fricked in February, all right? So use that Get Fricked code to get 20% off, okay? So it's not the same show. It's considerably better. Right. I'm selling you right now on coming back on a more regular basis, all right? So I would love to see y'all here more often, see some of those familiar names, get in the Discord. There's big things coming. We've got really cool things planned with Elden Ring. It's going to be on multiple platforms. There's community things we can do with it, play together, grind together, fight bosses together. So, yes, just make sure you're subbed to the channel, and then, again, consider becoming a member. We lost a lot of members in the move. We moved over here, and we also lost a lot of members when, we got, punted off of Purple. 6,000 paying members to be exact. So consider becoming a member on this channel. It's $5 a month. It gets you increased access in our Discord, and it does support me and the family directly. Sorcerer of Havoc with 9 months. Thank you so much. That's a tier 2 as well. Double dip. And then Christina coming in with a tier 2 at 10 months. That's probably a double dip as well. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for being here this morning. Let me get you guys a poll. So, also keep in mind, the From Software stuff is very regular, but we really have sort of niched down into Halo, MMOs and RPGs like Lost Ark, New World, Ashes of Creation. We've got plans for that. So you may be a fan of Destiny, but you may also be a fan of these other games, these MMOs, these RPGs, these games that are ongoing, these games that are live service. So again, make sure you're here for that. Let me get you a poll going here. Sony buys Bungie. Is this good or bad, right? Because there are people that think these acquisitions are actually bad. There are people that think these acquisitions are good. Sony buys Bungie. Is this good or bad? There's a poll in chat. Distorted coming in with half a year of support. Thank you so much. 6 months of subs. That's half a year. Appreciate it very, very much. Enough with the ads. Shut the frick up. Don't be here then if you don't like me promoting what I'm doing. I'm so sorry. To interrupt your show, apparently. Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. I just set this piece of paper here. It says it's my show. It's my show. So shut your face and listen to me advertise this pencil too. You can buy this pencil and use code PENCIL. I'm just kidding. We're not selling any pencils. Robert Jones says it's bad. It tells me that Bungie can't truly be independent. Well, here's the thing about being independent, right? The thing about being independent is you still need money if you want to expand, right? You still need money if you want to expand. Like, does that make sense? Like, I'm obviously not going to sit here and be like Mr. Bungie apologist, but at the same time, it's like, what are they supposed to do? They want to hire a ton more people, open up studios, start new projects. Well, where's all that? Where's the money going to come from, right? Where's the money going to come from? Destiny's lucrative. Destiny is profitable as frick, but it ain't that profitable. It ain't double your company size profitable. Do you know what I'm saying? Zinthos coming in with half a year. Love the content. Keep it up. Thank you. It's good for Sony, good for Bungie, bad for gaming. A lot of people think this is bad for gaming because you're putting power in the hands of, a couple of players, and that's a cause for concern for a lot of folks. They think that, like, you're basically going to be siloing companies all under a couple of umbrellas, and then that's going to be really, really bad for the industry. Like, here's something to consider. I mean, does Sony have the ability to leverage this in 5 years to be like, yeah, well, we kind of think you're not independent anymore. You're ours now. I would imagine that Bungie would have been smart enough to bake a lot of protections into the contract after their experience with Activision and after their experience with Microsoft, right? I cannot imagine them feeling like this sense of like, well, it's fine that we trust Sony. Sony won't go back on this. They're not going to try and renegotiate, or adjust the terms of the deal like Darth Vader to Boba Fett or something. I don't think the consolidation, but the move is probably pretty good. I don't like the consolidation, says Eugene, but the move is probably pretty good. I wonder, how's it consolidation, Eugene? How's it consolidation if they're just giving them... It seems like they're just giving them capital in trade for, like, live service multi-platform benefits. You know what I mean? My gut said dang, couldn't they buy something better than Destiny? But then when I try to think of a better company to buy, I can't really think of one offhand. A lot of people thought that Sony's next purchase was either going to be EA or Ubisoft. Dauntless, I voted bad because it's bad for me, and in my opinion, both companies, but I'm probably the minority. Is it really consolidation? Yeah, it doesn't feel like consolidation. It feels like they're paying them capital. Here's a bunch of money so you can expand. Oh, and yeah, we need you to help us with multi-platform live service games. The entire market is consolidating, not just gaming, but other industries. They were buying the tech, not the game, says Roger. That's what it feels like to me, is that they're not interested in Destiny. They're not. Like, let's be honest. Like, Destiny's super lucrative, but Destiny is not... I'm not throwing shade. Destiny's not worthy of purchase. Do you know what I'm saying? It's running on old tech. It doesn't have good PvP, which if you're going to invest in a company and try and make a ton of money, you're probably going to want that PvP engine driver. You're going to want that battle royale effect, or that, I mean, I guess they have the battle pass. I just don't think Destiny's worthy of purchase. They didn't buy them for Destiny. Like, you got to think 10 years down the road. These companies aren't making these purchases and these buys. You think Microsoft is spending $70 billion because they want a couple of games right now? No, they're thinking 10 and 20 years down the road. And if you're thinking 10 or 20 years down the road, Destiny's a fossil by then. Unless they help fund a Destiny MMO, like a true and genuine Destiny MMO, but I just don't think so. I think Bungie's in a similar situation with Destiny that they're in with Grand Theft Auto. You make so much money, it's your cash cow, right? It's your cash cow. It makes so much money, it's going to fund the other things they want to do, like Matter, or it's just going to keep on kind of trucking. I don't know if I could see them building a Destiny MMO, because they need a whole new engine. They would need dedicated servers, and I just don't know if Bungie's interested in that infrastructure. Now, Bungie's interested in expanding the Destiny IP into like TVs and movies and everything else. So it's entirely possible that they have a very, very long-term plan here, and Sony could potentially see them as a very viable brand. It doesn't seem that that's the reason that they bought them right now. The reason that they bought them right now is they want the technology, they want the expertise. They're not interested in Destiny. You know what I mean? Yo, Hilly, welcome back at a tier 2. That's my man right there. Oh, I need to talk to you about Friday Nights, Hilly, because it was so good. And we're doing it again this week, because that, like, if you guys didn't catch Friday night, the Friday Night Shoutcast, it's on our bigger channel. We changed our bigger channel to split screen. And if you guys missed our debut of the Friday Night Shoutcast, man, Hilly jumped in. He jumped in the deep end with me, and the man can swim. It was a great show. If you didn't see it, you need to go check it out. It was fantastic. Very excited to continue doing that with you guys every Friday night. That was my thought. I feel like Sony might be more interested in their tech and maybe the expansion into multiple cinematic universes. I mean, look at this. I mean, look at the phrasing. Look at the phrasing. It was like the second part of the blog from Jim Ryan says, Bungie's world-class expertise in multi-platform development and live game services will help us deliver on our vision of expanding PlayStation to hundreds of millions of gamers. Bungie is a great innovator and has developed, quote, incredible proprietary tools that will help PlayStation studios achieve new heights under Herman Hulst's leadership. That's what they want. That's what Sony's after, right? It's like buying a mansion because you know there's something buried in the backyard. You're not buying the mansion, you're buying the thing that's buried in the backyard. They're like, listen, they've developed proprietary tools in the realm of multi-platform live service, and that's what we want. Now, I hate to say I told you so, but I've been pushing this for a while. More and more games are gonna go toward live service. Everybody bashes and hates on Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Assassin's Creed Valhalla is paving the way for what used to be single-player action-adventure experiences into live service. Who, pray tell, delivers really, really great single-player action-adventure experiences? Who? Sony does. And if Sony wants to start to take those games and turn them into live service games that are ongoing and on multiple platforms, who better to help them with it than one of, I hate to say it, they're one of the most successful live service games out there. Destiny is. Destiny's had an impact on the entire industry in the realm of, like, you can have a game be ongoing. You don't have to have a game that's just sort of like episodically delivered or DLC delivered. Destiny has impacted the industry. I don't think you have a live service AC Valhalla. I don't think you have an Assassin's Creed Infinity Plan, which is their live service Assassin's Creed game. I don't think you have any of that without Destiny. You know what I mean? It's like the Beatles. It's like you have all these bands and all these musical trends that stem from the Beatles. Like Destiny is one of the most successful live service games out there. And so many other people have tried. So many other people have tried. A company built and maintained a 3-year game cycle on DLC managed to save a disaster and turn it into a successful 4-year live service. The knowledge is rare. Right. The what they've learned, what they know, how they went about this, how they kept the game going, Bungie's knowledge is worth a couple of billion in Sony's mind. Now, I've made predictions that I think Ghost of Tsushima will be the next action-adventure game that leans into live service. I've made these predictions based off of their Legends mode, the Rivals mode, and how they handled Ikishima with an extra island. I said they could turn this game into a live service game because they've got loot, they've got rank, they've got abilities, they've got all this stuff, right? Well, if they're wanting to take one of their first-party properties and turn it into an ongoing live service game, well, look what we have here. We just bought Bungie, and they can help us with the infrastructure. They can help us with the ideas. They've learned the hard lessons of an ongoing game. A five spot from Maddie Jarvis. Sony Interactive Entertainment also has ties to TV and movies, something that Bungie wanted to expand with the Destiny universe. The deal makes sense. That's also true. We talk about a live action series of Ghost of Tsushima would be. Well, they're doing a movie. They're doing a movie. See? Do you see? Like, Ghost of Tsushima could be one of the first Sony properties to see live service treatment. You know what I mean? Bought or backed? I mean, they bought them. They bought them. It's not a. It's the headline. What was the headline? How did Sony phrase it? I mean, that would be the real question. How did Sony phrase it in their headlines? Do we think Sony allowing Bungie to remain multi-platform is to show good enough intentions to sway Microsoft to do the same? No. I think the reason that they're allowing them to be independent multi-platform, do you want to know why they're doing it? Because Bungie wouldn't have signed otherwise. You know what I mean? Bungie wouldn't have signed otherwise. You think after their experience with Activision, you think after their experience with Microsoft, they weren't going to bake that into the contract to be like, listen, no, absolutely not. We do not want to be in another ownership contract that you get to tell us what to do. Hey, somebody taking advantage of Get Fricked in February. Cal Skirata, I don't know if you've ever ordered coffee before. Is this your first order? He ordered 2 bags of light and a Frickmas blend. That's the best deal, honestly, to get 3 bags. You guys can get fricked in February. Use code GETFRICKED at RagelessRoast.com to get 20% off the Frickmas blend. We are getting rid of our Frickmas blend in February. After February, it's gone. This was our most popular blend in November and December. Everybody really, really liked it. So we're moving through that last bit of the inventory there. Oh! It's going fast. It's flying off the shelves and my desk. So be sure to snag some today. Would love to see a ton of coffee orders since there's a ton of people here. It's great to see this many people here. You really should come back every day. We do 2 talk shows a day a lot of the times, covering lots of different games, MMOs, RPGs, Halo, From Software games, all the new games launching in February. So, consider, coming here for the live show a little bit more often, not just, on the rare full moon occurrence where I have to talk about friggin' Bungie. Remember, Bungie had PlayStation exclusives a long time ago, and it didn't go over well, so I don't think Bungie would make the same mistake twice. Well, I will say this. They answered a question about the Witch Queen about exclusives and said there will be no platform exclusives in Witch Queen, but I don't know if they addressed all the other future content, like Lightfall, and any seasons that come after Witch Queen. A $5 tip from Young Crisis Actor says, tip trains make you live longer. Young Crisis Actor is trying to start a tip train. Dem Rivers, your program has the best variety gaming news coverage and interactive conversations. I can't wait for discussions on good builds in Elden Ring. People should log into YouTube and subscribe. Keep up the good work. Yeah, Dem Rivers with a $20 directive to you. Log in, subscribe, check the bell button. Where the frick have you been? We've been doing this show on gaming here on SNTR Gaming since September. Where you been? Huh? Where you been? All right. All future games. Now, hang on a minute, though. Hang on. All future games. Where No. All future games, not just Destiny, will appear to stay multi-platform. Hang on, though. That doesn't mean that they can't be like, hey, Sony gets a week early of the season. Don't friggin' kid yourself. That might actually happen. I'm not trying to create a spook story here, but don't kid yourself. They answered the question directly about timed exclusivities, and they said, no, it's not going to happen for Witch Queen, which kind of leaves like a ... but what about everything else? That doesn't mean that they're going to be exclusive, but timed exclusivity can be a thing. Telorn with 6 months of membership, thank you. And Zinthos with a $5 tip says, choo-choo, mofos. Thank you so much for keeping the tip train going. Order coffee, become a member, do something, right? Do something. We got a great show going today, and those are all the greatest ways to support. We would love to see 500 members on the channel. We're in like the 450s. At 500, we'll unlock another emote. So if you want to click the join button, or you can click the $ sign at the bottom of the chat. That's how you can become a paying member. $5 a month. It's no different than when you were over on Purple. You know, you get emotes, you get a badge. It supports me and my family, and then you can get increased access on our Discord. So, and we've gotten a ton of new subscribers this morning, so I hope to see you back here throughout the rest of the week. Necro says, become a member, y'all. Trust me, great content, great interactive streams. Also, best coffee. Thank you very much. Lono, they also said same game no matter what. They said the game will be the same experience for every player no matter the platform. That says to me the exclusives and such will not happen. Okay. All right, okay. All right. I'm just saying. I don't know. They answered directly about Witch Queen. Why wouldn't they say Witch Queen in all future expansions? Why wouldn't they say Witch Queen in all future seasons? Why wouldn't they say that? They said, yeah, Witch Queen won't have any time exclusives. I mean, let me try and find the phrasing. Can somebody find me that phrasing? I'm not in a position to pull it up at the moment. Arch Enigma with a $5 tip says, tip train, you say. Thank you, Arch Enigma. A $5 tip from Hex. Let's do this. Choo-choo. And then Smiley coming in with 2 months. And it's a tier 1. Thank you for renewing your membership. Let's go. Let's go. Thank you for all of the support today. I really, really appreciate it. My wife said last night I'm not allowed to install Destiny on her PS5. She said, you already bored me enough with Destiny. That's right. That's right. She's not letting you. She sounds like a good woman. She really does. She's protecting the sanctity of her PlayStation. 9 months of membership from Thad. It's a tier 2. Thank you for doing a tier 2. 2 months coming in from Ration. Found this now. Testing. Oh, Lono, actually. Come on, cheeks. What's good, Breaker? How are you? This news couldn't come at a better time for the SNTR momentum. Thank you, Bungie. Yeah, I guess. I guess it makes me more interesting when this kind of stuff happens, instead of just like, well, Lono will probably make a video. It's like, well, we got to go see what he has to say. He doesn't cover that game anymore. Rogue Necro coming in with a $5 tip says, get the frick on this train if you want to live. Thad coming in with a $20 tip says, Mo money. Let's go. We just hit 11,000 subs, by the way, and we're already rolling it over to like 11.1. I feel like we just hit 10,000 subs on this channel. When we came over here, we had a little less than 6,000 subs. We have basically doubled the sub count since we moved over here. Holy moly. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. 5 months from LOL Poop Sack. It's a tier 2 as well. Thank you, sir. Look how cool you can be, chat. That's right. You guys can be as cool as someone named Poop Sack. I mean, that's a sentence I wanted to say this morning when I woke up. You know? That's a sentence that I wanted to say when I woke up today. There's a brand new membership from I Feel to Despair. Thank you so much for the brand new membership, tier 1. A $5 tip from Angry Pete. If you have to talk Bungie, you might as well get paid. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. That's stupid. I don't do stuff like that. What is that? It's this, isn't it? I went like this. See, what I'm doing is I'm combining this with this. Like... So like I'm giving you the finger while I'm counting the dollars. Do you understand? Do you understand the meaning? Do you? That's mine. That's original to me. I hit the wrong button on my stream. That's original to me. So I made that up. Sony to unban Lono? No. I tried to disconnect cross save last night just to see like what it would do. Like, oh, maybe I can play on my Xbox off stream just for the fun of it. You know what I mean? Maybe with my son again, since that's the last time I got to play the game with my son. Good job, Bungie. What a virtuous thing you did. But it said that I was banned on Steam for 500 years. I'm not kidding. 500 years. That's legitimate, right? That tells you they did this on the up and up, right? That tells you they did this on the up and up. 500 years. Guys, in 500 years, I can play again. So let's start the clock. Start the clock, chat. 500 years. One of my great grandchildren will be able to play the game. They'll be it's 5 consecutive life sentences. That's right. Yeah. Because a German woman ruffled feathers on Twitter. I got 500 years of a ban. $20 tip from Cardoc Ren. Here's some more of that Bungie money. Thank you. I mean, that really tells you that it was a legitimate, on the up and up, according to TOS ban. That really tells you that it's legitimate. It really does. You should really trust these people. They're very honest. Okay, so here's the question that they were asked. Will Destiny 2 The Witch Queen include any platform exclusives? They said no. The Witch Queen will not contain any platform exclusives. Every player should have an amazing Destiny experience no matter where you choose to play. That's Bungie speak. That's Bungie speak, chat. Come on now. That's frickin' Bungie speak. Helix coming in with a $5 tip. A $5 tip. Thank you so much. Did someone say tip train? I have a confession to make. I have been enjoying my joystick, and I most definitely have been playing with it too much. Listen. We don't make that joke. We don't make that joke anymore. Thank you so much for keeping your joystick here, though. We appreciate it. You guys can get a joystick in my chat if you become a member, okay? If you become a member. Should have just forced people into NDA. Yeah, I mean, if I had the money to keep people quiet, that would have been great. I could have just forced people to, sign non-disparaging agreements and offered them money. like Bungie did. $5 tip from I Feel to Despair. I dropped more Elden Ring footage last night, saving it for Friday. Dadgummit! Are you sure they dropped more, or are they just breakdowns? Can someone clarify that for me? God, frickity, dude. G-Money Christmas. Here's another question for Bungie. Will any announced seasons, events, packs, or expansions be changed or impacted by Bungie becoming part of PlayStation? No. Bungie retains full creative independence for our games and our community. Our plans for the Light and Dark Saga are unchanged all the way through the final shape of 2024. Okay. So it seems that everything they've announced all the way to the final shape in 2024, it will not be impacted by this. Will any announced seasons, events, packs, or expansions be changed or impacted by Bungie becoming part of PlayStation? No. They're saying no. Bungie retains full creative independence for our games and our community. So I would say that is a pretty solid way of reading it. Roger renewing their membership. Thank you, Roger, getting the blue joystick. If it turns blue, that's actually a good thing here. A $7 tip from Craig. Craig says tip train. A $2 tip from Deathside. Destiny will die if it goes exclusive. Choo choo. East Coast Overlord with a $5 tip. Is it bad that I missed Friday already? Listening in no matter what, though. That's my man. Thank you. Lightfalls is too known, but after that... No. Let me read it again. It says, our plans for the Light and Dark Saga are unchanged all the way through the final shape in 2024. So they're not all the way there. So yeah, after 2024, sure, things could change. That's entirely possible. I think they will. I think they will. I mean, this is about capital. They don't own them, they own them. Does that make sense? They're under the umbrella, but they're not like chained to the house. Do you understand? Seems to me that Bungie got in over their head and sold in a panic because they can't expand on their own. Vengeance with a $10 tip. I don't think they're in over their head. You guys are making me defend a company that I'm not very fond of. I don't think they're in over their head. I think they were... We said this back when we covered the game, okay? When they announced their... Oh my gosh! What in the heck is happening? So many coffee orders. Is this real? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 coffee orders. Getting fricked in February. A bag of Frickmas to Hush. Hush. Is that you? Are you alive? Is that you, homie? I don't know if that's him. A bag of Frickmas, a bag of dark, and a bag of light roast to bean me, daddy. Get it, because of coffee beans. Ganks. Thank you, Ganks. I get the joke. Okay? A bag of Frickmas to Chess Queen. Chess Queen getting fricked in February. 2 bags of Frickmas to Vengeance. Vengeance is getting fricked in February. And 3 bags of Frickmas to Cheesy Donut. Cheesy Donut's going to roll the dice and try to get fricked in February. We'll reshift that bag to you. We'll try to reshift that bag to you. I don't know what in the world happened. It wasn't our fault. He's having trouble getting stuff shipped to him. 3 bags of Frickmas to Doom. Yo, get fricked in February. Let's go. So many coffee sales. What's happening? The Hush, I don't know. I've not spoken with him in quite a while. I hope he's okay. I hope he's all right. I don't know who this person is that put Hush. I mean, Hush could be a nickname. Who knows? In any case, back to what I was saying. I don't think this was like desperation. Like, oh my gosh, we can't do this. Guys, what are we going to do? But Creature made a great point. Announced. Maybe Bungie's next game. Hang on. Let me reopen the stupid quote. Okay. You got to read things in context, dadgummit. It's, will any announced seasons, events, packs, or expansions be changed by this? The context of this question is about Destiny. Okay? Now, you have to go to the other quote. There's another quote that says, Where is it? Scrolling. Reinforcing that all future games, not just Destiny, will appear to stay multi-platform. They also describe what will change in the immediate future, okay? In the immediate future. So all their future games will be multi-platform. They'll all be multi-platform. I don't think, now that could mean that Matter could have some timed exclusivity, but again, when they're asked the question about Destiny, their answer is, then announced means Bungie could have content unannounced that will be exclusive. Oh my gosh. 11 months from Chronic Spin Dash. Thank you so much for almost an entire year. Sony owns the company who created Master Chief, My Lanza. I know. Why is the word announced present then? They say, the question says it, will any announced seasons, events, packs, or expansions be changed? They said no. Bungie retains full creative independence for our games and our community. Our plans for the Light and Dark saga are unchanged all the way through the final shape of 2024. So, that gives them room to, I guess, do timed exclusivity for Destiny property after the final shape. But again, you're only dealing with timed exclusivity. Who do you think wrote the question? I know Bungie wrote the question. It's on their platform. What I'm telling you is, as I read this, there will be no timed exclusivity until after 2024, and there still might not be any timed exclusivity. So if it hasn't been announced, fair game for whatever. Okay. So you're thinking, hypothetically then, the season that follows Witch Queen hasn't been announced and could then therefore have a timed exclusivity deal because it's not been announced. I don't know. This feels all-encompassing. It says, our plans for the Light and Dark saga are unchanged all the way through the final shape in 2024. I think we get cosmetic exclusives within a year. Yeah, they could say none of those seasons were announced and we're going to give Sony early stuff or more. I don't frickin' know. That seems like we're trying to do the sinister Bungie thing. I don't like them. I don't. You're making me kind of defend them. I hate that. Make extra content to make exclusive light cosmetics does not affect current or planned content because they're adding more to make it exclusive, not changing the content. Dadgummit! That's Loctite! That's Loctite logic distorted. That's actually true. They could say these extra cosmetics and these extra things were not planned. They have been funded. Yeesh. Your take makes perfect sense if the word announced is not present. I mean, listen. I've covered Bungie since House of Wolves. I have. We've obviously taken a year of not covering because, you know, they have sinister and dishonest people at the company, but they do this. I called it Bungie speak, right? They're experts at Bungie speak, and they will carefully lay verbiage in announcements to give them, you know, elasticity in the future. So, cosmetics that can only be purchased on PlayStation could be argued that, like, well, it wasn't announced, and it wasn't a part of the plan, right? This is extra. And since it's extra, you're not missing out on anything. I'm telling you, I don't know. I really don't know if they're going to want to do that. I really, really don't. If you haven't hit subscribe yet, do so. I know a lot of you only come around, you know, when the planets align and I have to talk about Bungie. And I appreciate you being here. It'd be great if you came here like every day like you used to. It's the same show. We're just talking different games. It's video game radio. It's safe for work. You can subscribe in confidence. I'm here Monday through Friday doing lots of great coverage of RPGs, of Halo, of all sorts of different things. We're having a tip train, a member train. We're having a coffee order train, another order of coffee, blasting through that Frickmas inventory. A bag of Frickmas and a bag of light roast to Skip Toasty. Thank you, Skip Toasty. Get Fricked in February. You get 20% off the Frickmas blend right now. 20% off. We are trying to move through the inventory. Get Fricked in February. We sold a ton already today. Look at that beautiful bag. Look at that. Get you some. The show is better than it's ever been. Yeah, tell them, chat. Tell them how good the show has been. We moved over here in September. I'm telling you, it's some of the best content I've ever made. A $5 tip from Fat J. Imagine that the Destiny TV show being good. I have to imagine that, yeah. Seeker of Justice with a $5 tip. I try to get here as much as I can, bro. Nice to see you. Thank you, Seeker of Justice. Thank you. Listen, I know you guys are busy. I get it. If real life is interfering, that's fine. But if you're like, I only ever consume Destiny content, I think you're missing out. I think we've had some amazing shows, debates, discussion, and game coverage that hasn't been about that game. So I appreciate you being here today and clicking all the buttons and doing all the things. Video games turned into movies have a terrible track record. How many have actually been okay? 3 or 4 out of dozens and dozens? Yeah. The Halo TV series looks kind of eh. It looks eh. Robert Jones with a $5 tip. If it's only about funding, why sell your company instead of doing a large contract with Sony? But that's what this is. That's what this is, Robert. It is about funding. It's about that's what it is. It's like give us a couple billion and we're going to give you tech and you're going to give us the funding we need to expand. Bungie needs capital. They want to expand. They want to like double their staff size. They want to put a man on the moon. They want to put a studio in Amsterdam. They want to start publishing games. They can't do that. Oh, you've been dealing with that for a week, Teddy? I'm sorry that you're dealing with that. We know a lot of people that are yeah, it sucks. Sorry to hear that. They don't need to sell their company for funding. They receive funding from another company. Yeah, and that is probably being built, Greg. That funding, you think the funding for that game helps them double their staffing size? Like 100 million? Like 100 million's not going to let you double your staffing size and put a studio in Amsterdam. That's nothing. $100 million? They burned through that. They already burned through that probably building whatever the frick they're building. This is more like a partnership. Yeah, like Sony clearly stated, we want the tech. Bungie has proprietary tools that Sony wants. That's what the blog says. Well, no, I also think Sony has more control than people are thinking. There's a difference between not exercising that control and not having it. We would need to see the actual contracts, Eugene. Dollars to donuts. Bungie has baked a bunch of protections into the contract. After their experience with Activision and Microsoft, come on. What was the code again? Get fricked. That's the code. Perfect day for me to say that a bunch of times. You improved so much the amount in 3 years ago. Insane. Greetings from Germany. Miss you covering Destiny 2, to be honest. Hey, I get it. I get you missing me cover it, you know. The rest of them don't do that. You can watch anybody, you know, regurgitate blog posts and, you know, tell you which gun is best. We did something different and something special. And I know. You can't find it anywhere else, but that's not my fault. That's not my fault. You take that up with Bungie. This purchase, or more similar to Sony's purchases of Nix's and this other, they want the tech more than anything. What the F? Proprietary tech? Like what? Hiding peer-to-peer behind a curtain of dedicated servers? That's some great money-saving tech right there. Well, hang on, you cynic, Light Leap. Listen. They want multi-platform live service. I don't care how much you dislike Bungie, because I dislike them plenty. I don't care how much you dislike Destiny. When it comes to multi-platform multi-platform live service games, Destiny is a leader in the industry. Make no bones about it. You can dislike them. You can think the game is stuck. You can think the game is too much recycled content. You can think the DCV is a crime. You can think that Luke Smith is ugly. None of those things matter. When they clearly have done something right. They're a leader in multi-platform live service games. There are games right now that are modeling their structure after Destiny. What do you think Valhalla's been doing? What do you see what I'm saying? Like, listen, I can cut away my distaste for how they handled a bunch of situations recently, like paying large sums of money to protect abusers, both at the company and put people that have left, and forcing people to sign non-disparaging agreements. Like, I can have the taste of bile in my mouth when I have to talk about Bungie and everyone waxing eloquent about how great they are. But when it comes to the technology and their success of a franchise, they're clearly doing something right. How many games have tried to do what Destiny has done and have failed miserably? Anthem, Division 1, even Borderlands tried and it didn't work. There's been so many games that have been like, let's try our hand at a loot-based live service ongoing game, and they're in the gutter. And Bungie's over here doing it on their own and being good enough to court Sony. What do you think, Sony's stupid? Do you think you're smarter than Sony? Do you think you're smarter than Sony? They're courting Sony with something. I mean, Warframe, one of a couple, that have done okay, sure. Freddie Jackson with $10. You only 400 likes. Let's get it to 500. Like, my commitment to honest integrity and like having honesty and integrity in my coverage forces me to defend them and their game so often, because I think people develop they develop a sinister, I don't even know what to call it. Like, you're jaded a little bit. You're jaded. That's fine. I still am a little jaded. You know, I'm a little annoyed that they're being celebrated. I don't think they deserve to be celebrated. I think their reckoning is still coming. I don't think you can just use... time has proven that money and signed agreements for quiet don't last for long, okay? I don't think their reckoning has truly happened, all right? But I can divorce myself from that to be like, they clearly are doing something right at a technological level. You know what I mean? D2 currently lives off of a vibrant community created during better times. I think now you have a core that stays and a lot of rotating players. You don't create new passionate players. But that's not what we're talking about, Lightleap. We are talking about proprietary technology, years of experience in multi-platform live service success. Even if their game at the moment might be considered like waning or something, but like... it's Witch Queen looks like it's the most pre-ordered expansion they've ever created. Right. Like, I got coffee orders to announce. I can't allow it. I have to stick to my I have to be honest and have integrity in my coverage. I have to defend how good they've been and how successful their franchise has been. You know, that's why it sucked massively. We unlisted 13 million views worth of videos. 13 million. You know how bad that sucks to have to do? Do you know how good this franchise is to content creators? A boring blogger can read news pressings and get 20,000 views. This game is very, very good and lucrative. It's very, very good and lucrative. And Sony apparently thinks so. 1 million pre-orders for a frickin' DLC. A bag of Frickmas, a bag of light, and a bag of dark to Eric. Thank you, Eric. People are getting fricked in February, plowing through this Frickmas with the Frickmas sale. Sid says, get fricked, buddy. Ordered 2 bags of Frickmas. Let's see. 3 bags of Frickmas to Spawn. Madam, may I have the kids draw a picture of Spider-Man? I already have Thor last time I ordered the coffee. Thank you for the great coffee and for being a rock for Lono. That's a very sweet note to my wife. Thank you. A bag of Frickmas and a bag of the light roast to Solid Snake. Love the coffee and the show. My man, so many coffee orders. Holy frick. A bag of Frickmas and a bag of light roast to Sniper64. Thank you very much. A $2 tip from Tango. What Destiny content creators aren't corrupt? Watch Astacross and Leopard and leave the rest to burn. People see the hype of the hardcore player base and they get sucked in. I don't think the game itself would create the success of its current state. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Phil Spencer's in the chat. Good to see you, Phil. I wonder if some PlayStation players are going to try Destiny 2 now simply because Sony bought Bungie. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. That's botting. They've been caught view botting before. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me that they're view botting. They're hemorrhaging. They're hemorrhaging. It wouldn't surprise me at all. I'm not going to sit here and give you a list of people to support. I'm not. I've blocked them all because I find them all to be, you know, insect-level intelligent drones that latch on to canceling people. When they went after Tectone, that was the end for me. I was like, you guys are all small-brained insects that will hurt and attack anything that moves because you're all scared. You are all paralyzed and by your own, I don't even know what to call it. It's like they're all so paralyzed by imposter syndrome that they attack anything that moves because everything's an opportunity to cut somebody else down to rise above. They're all suspect. They all do it. They went after Tectone, and when it became known that his joke wasn't a nasty joke about race, they didn't care. They continued to go after him because they're insect-level intelligent, just drones of destruction. I blocked them all. I want nothing to do with any of them. They're nasty, reprehensible people. And maybe one day they'll wake up and realize how awful they've been. Maybe. But they're almost all awful. The only one that had a shred of integrity was Astacross. And the rest of them are garbage. That's not what we're supposed to be talking about today. So, you watch who you want. You don't need my blessing. Yeah, Wolvie's here. Watch Wolvie, for crying out loud. Watch Crucible Coliseum if you want a content creator who isn't a backstabbing piece of trash. Watch Wolvie. Watch him. Watch Crucible Coliseum if you want content that's from a genuine person. In any case, the situation that we're facing right now, it's not about this isn't about like, oh, Bungie couldn't do it or Bungie panicked, right? This also, the quartering has got this way wrong. Jeremy's got this way wrong. Big time wrong. Saying that this looks desperate and like Sony's panicking to buy, the whoever it is they're buying or whatever. That's not what's going on. They're not panicking. This deal was in talks for like 6 months. According to insiders, this deal has been in talks for 6 months. So it's like, this wasn't some desperate, crazy, oh no, what do we do? Buy Bungie! Like, what? That? No! I'm not denying that it's financially successful, but it would never draw those massive paying numbers if there wasn't this broad appeal built by previous generations. I mean, I get what you're saying, Lightleap. I get what you're saying. Like, you have there's a nostalgic, there's a nostalgic, sanctimonious nature to what you're saying that I don't necessarily disagree with the spirit of what you're saying. That, like, the game now is standing on the shoulders of a better generation. A better generation of people and gamers and a community that rallied behind charity and good causes. And now it's just the husk of its former self. It's just a bunch of nasty, fake, phony content creators and Bungie working with them behind the scenes to do planned business disruption and shady deals and the community's really gross and like attacking and toxic and awful. Sure. But at the same time, there's a million people a week that are probably playing the dadgum game that have no clue about any of this crap. They don't care. They're just shooting dregs in a lost sector. They don't give a frick about any of this nonsense. They don't know who I am. They certainly don't know who any of these other people are. There's a million people a week logging in who have no idea who Dado is. They don't give a frick. There's plenty of good people that play this game that don't pay attention to any of this nonsense. They just don't care. The game is fun. The game is satisfying. It is, to date, I think, the most successful looter shooter in existence. It's the most successful. It's probably, to date, the most successful live service, non-sort of subscription-based game out there. It's gotta be. It's gotta be. They've got to be one of the most successful, if not the most successful live service games out there. You know, and so if you look at like the language that Sony's using, clearly Bungie got something right. Bungie nailed something. They've got some kind of proprietary technology in the background that is incredibly valuable. You know what I mean? It's like Fortnite raises his hand. It's one of the most successful is what I'm saying. One of the most successful. I would say one of the most successful, like, loot-based, RPG-based live service games. It's in the top thresholds of success. Sure, you can point to Fortnite and say, well, it's live service. Yeah, but it's Battle Royale, so you're talking about different genres. So, like, within the genre of, like, a loot-based RPG live service game, like, Destiny has been massively successful. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying when it released, it was something new. They tried to grow it, make it better, created lots of hardcore fans who will stick. They build a myth. The current model is too shallow to ever draw in players, if not for veterans pushing the games, the guides, YouTube resources. I'm convinced of that. New player experience is atrocious. They were supposed to improve the new player experience significantly, and then they recently had that thing that became like a meme where people couldn't even do the dadgum content, right? I don't even know what it was called. I've not touched the game in a year. So this is not desperation on Sony's part. It certainly isn't desperation on Bungie's part. Like, oh no, we can't do this on our own. We need help. No, that's not what in the frick's going on. That just isn't the right read here. It isn't the right read. I don't think they're in a panic. I don't think they're in a, you know, like a tailspin or anything like that. I don't think that's what's going on. And most of you are here off of Browse today. You're not. If anybody's finding us off of search, they're searching for SNTR Gaming or SNTR. So, we are primarily running on people who know who I am primarily, and it's good to have you back. This show, we move the live show over here to SNTR Gaming. If you miss my live shows, if you miss my video game radio voice in your ear while you're working, hit subscribe and the bell button. I am still safe for work. I still sit here all day long and debate and discuss and get fired up, and we have a very, very good time. So make sure you're subscribed with the bell button. It's good to see the sub count going up, and we hope that you return throughout the week. We're covering a Halo thing this afternoon. We might know some information now about the developers of the Battle Royale mode, and we'll also be checking out the weekly store update. Example, story's terrible and not accessible, even for someone who is deep and took a break. But you go on YouTube and you can spend hours on lore vids. It draws you in. The game doesn't. I can't push back on what you're saying, Light Leap, about the story. I remember people saying the story was really bad, at the time of my exodus from the game, I thought the story was better than ever. I thought the way they were telling it was better. I thought the way they were making it super like rhythmic and weekly was better. I thought the story was light years better than it had ever been, because there was no story in D1, and the story in like vanilla D2 to Forsaken was just like, what the actual is going on? So I don't know. I can't push back on what you're saying. I've not played the game in a year. I have no idea what it would look like to like come back and dive into the story right now. You know what I mean? I don't know. Typically, I found myself disagreeing with people saying what you were saying, that like the story's not very good. I was like, I think the story is very, very good. When all of a sudden we were in the court of Savathûn, I was like, oh my gosh, this is super dope. This is super dope. As a veteran of the game, I disagree completely, outside of the new player experience being bad. Right, the new player experience was supposed to be dramatically improved, and it sounds like they have not done that. Indicated both by the fact that like apparently they had that new content that got all jacked up. Now supposedly they fixed it. I'd say the storytelling has made leaps and bounds, and there's a reason people are pumped for Witch Queen. The story and its ups and downs, but they're figuring it out. I mean, I think Witch Queen's likely it's gonna be bigger than the Taken King. That's what I think. I hate to talk about it in that way. I hate to hype it up because I was looking forward to it for a very long time. I told you guys when Beyond Light landed, I said, all eyes are on Witch Queen. They don't even seem to care about Beyond Light. They don't even seem to care. They're already talking about Witch Queen. In the marketing for Beyond Light, they were talking about Witch Queen. You know what I'm saying? Like, ever since then, I've told you guys, all eyes are on Witch Queen. This is all that matters to them. They are putting so many, chips on this number on the table. They're banking a lot on Witch Queen. I think Witch Queen will be bigger than Taken King. That's what I think. It'll be, It's sad. It's sad that I made all those predictions about Savathûn. It's sad that I make all those predictions. I told you guys there was going to be a DLC called the Taken Queen. Well, they just called it the Witch Queen. I mean, they just gave it a different name, right? And when Witch Queen comes out, it'll be all about Lightfall. Well, I mean, if that ends up happening, Greg, then sure. I mean, if they prove me wrong and it's not very good, it ain't going to hurt me at all. In the most literal sense, it don't matter to me how good it is. Like, it could be great, it could be crap. It matters zero to me. What's it going to do to my channel? I'm going to be playing Elden Ring and Horizon Forbidden West, riding off into the sunset with a channel we've doubled our sub count. Like, I don't give a frick about that DLC. I don't care if it's good or bad. I'm just telling you, I think, based on everything leading up to it, it's going to be bigger than the Taken King. Excuse me. I didn't want to get hung up on Destiny. Sorry, I was saying copy and pasting the current live model of Destiny can fail miserably because you discount the game's history and create a fan base. But you're talking about something that doesn't matter to Sony, Leap. It doesn't matter to Sony. I love your beautiful German face, but I think you're missing the forest for the trees. It has nothing to do with Destiny. They want the tech. It doesn't matter how copy-paste the game feels. It doesn't matter if you feel like the game doesn't have a soul. It doesn't even matter if Witch Queen is a commercial failure and doesn't generate revenue that they wanted to see or player base numbers that they wanted to see. None of that matters. It's the tech. It's the knowledge. They've done something that other games have struggled to do. A multi-platform, successful live service game. It's extremely hard to pull that off. You can point to Fortnite all you want. Fortnite, what do? They update the map, update the weapons, and crank out a battle pass driven by cosmetics. That's not the same as what, like, Assassin's Creed Infinity is going to try to do. That's not the same as what Destiny has done. Destiny is not a battle royale that drives itself with cosmetics. That sounds like Destiny to me. Well, they certainly borrowed some of the driver from Fortnite. Why? Why would they do that? Because it works. But that doesn't mean that's what Destiny is now. Excuse me. Come on. Don't make me defend the game. When I left the game, the content loop was good. What is this? What do you mean the content loop was good? Don't make me defend a game that I got unjustly banned from. The content loop was good at the time that I got banned. What was that dungeon that I soloed? That was awesome. What was that? What was it even called? I don't even know anymore. What is this? It's a good game. I understand now. Not a developer. I didn't know the tech behind Destiny is so unique. That's interesting. Leap. I didn't know it was unique either. This quote blew me away. Bungie is a great innovator and has developed incredible proprietary tools that will help PlayStation Studios achieve new heights under Herman Hulst's leadership. PlayStation Studios wants the tech because they want multi-platform live service. It wouldn't shock me if one of the first games to benefit from this is Ghost of Tsushima. I am telling you, there's a Ghost of Tsushima live service game coming. I'm telling you there is. It's going to be called like The Way of the Ghost or something. And Jin will be an NPC and you will become a ghost. He is going to blend samurai training with ghost training, and you will become a ghost, and you will live in an evolving, expanding world. You could be on Tsushima Island, but you could go to other provinces and other places to maintain like sovereignty and freedom for people and pushing back against the Mongols and stuff. I'm telling you, I feel like that's coming for Tsushima, and that's what they want. Okay, you have the proprietary tech, you have the knowledge, you have the experience, you have a multi-platform live service game. We want what you got. It's going to help us. That's what I think. I think Sony Studios is changing their strategy significantly. They have a storefront in Steam. If I would go back in time and wander into one of our streams and say, hey guys, there's going to be a Sony storefront in Steam, and Sony first-party titles like God of War are going to be available on the PC. You'd be like, you're a freaking liar. Get out of here. That's not going to happen. I would have said that. I'm like, Sony's not going to do that. Why would Sony do that? And here we sit. So I think they're pushing into what they know is a very, very lucrative market. I think live service is where the money is. Like, listen, where is it? Where's my video about that? I said this. I said this when we first started streaming over here. I said live service is coming. That's the new trend that you are going to see. Right here, 4 months ago, Assassin's Creed Valhalla versus Ghost of Tsushima. Is live service the new norm? I argued this 4 months ago. I said, listen, man, live service is coming. This idea of like launching a siloed game that sits and is popular for 2 weeks and then they try to sell you DLC months later, no. That era is leaving. They bought a live service monster, expanding into PC. People still think that Sony Discord deal isn't heading towards voice chat. Oh, man. This is a great discussion, by the way. This is a great discussion. But the nature of gaming is leaning more toward the hobbyist MMO live service style of gaming. That's where it's headed. That's where it's going. And Sony doesn't want to be left in the dark. Who cares about Destiny? All the content's in the Eververse. He's trying to bait me. When you put your hand on your hips and then speak with your other hand, it reminds me so much of my mom. Jay, you go clean your room right now. That's a lot of lip, mister. I don't know what your mom sounds like. I'm just imagining she sounds a little bit like Harley Quinn. Mr. J. Anyways, I don't think your mom would call you Mr. J. I think that would be a little weird. But you know, I want Sony to hand Killzone Revival job to Bungie Somebody theorized that is going to be handed to Bungie. I honestly think it has something to do with meta and virtual reality live service. I don't know. I think it's clear that Sony's future is not cranking out siloed single player games. I don't think so. I don't. Guys, by the way, just another little commercial. Extremely pleased that so many people have done the Get Fricked in February sale. You can use Get Fricked to get the remaining Frickmas inventory. You can get a 20% discount on our coffee. This is ours, by the way. This is not some company that gives me a kickback. This is in my house. My wife and kiddos ship this to you, okay? So really, really pleased with that. Always remember that I'm always wearing a shirt from 80s Tees, and those are disc plates. We really need both of these sponsors to continue to get some good love every month, because I think everybody's diverted to the coffee, which if you're going to divert your support to either a membership or coffee instead of a t-shirt or disc plate, I welcome that. That's totally fine. But if you ever like the shirt I'm wearing or the disc plates that are back there, use the shirt command or the disc plate command or the links below to get a great discount. Code LONO at 80stees.com, and the disc plate link below will give you a very, very good discount on the disc plate. So thank you for supporting all the various sponsors and me. It's great to see we got 5 new members today. We're wanting to see 500 total members, so we need like 40 something more members. We need a little bit of a member push to hit that next milestone. So Sucker Punch is in Seattle, and so is Sony. Live service Ghost of Tsushima. I'm telling you, I can feel it in my bones that there's something coming with Tsushima that's live service. There's just something about the Ghost of Tsushima Legends and Rivals, the loot, the levels. They've got different colors for the loot. The way they added Ikishima to the map. I don't know. I can feel it, right? You meant Bungie. Yeah. Bungie's in Seattle. So is Sucker Punch. I'm telling you, I can feel it. They want that proprietary live service multi-platform tech. I don't know. I can feel it. I got one of these on sale. What is that? Brewdog Advent Calendar? Oh, nice. Am I co-streaming the State of Play tomorrow? No, it's too late in the day and it's all Gran Turismo. I'm not going to have anything to say. It's like 5 o'clock Eastern my time, which I'm planning the next day's stream around that time with Creature and then getting ready to go up to dinner with my family. It's Turismo. Nothing against Gran Turismo, but I don't really cover racing games or play them. Also, Destiny gun mechanics and feel can now spread into other Sony games. The game's multiple first-person shooters in development. Uncharted, Last of Us gunplay was not that good. Well, I'm going to push back on your prediction. I don't think that's what they want. I don't think they want the Tiger engine because the Tiger engine is old and it can't integrate with dedicated servers. Now, I will say this. Oh, man. Frick. That's actually... Yeah. According to Noseworthy and according to Luke Smith, when they did an interview at the Destiny 2 premiere in LA, I was out there for it, they said that they wouldn't be able to do dedicated servers because they'd have to rebuild the entire infrastructure of the game. And because they'd have to do that, it would have required an entirely new rebuild. Now, if they would give the gunplay mechanics and movement engine, if you give that to somebody and they build a brand new game from the ground up with dedicated servers, yeah, that could be, wow. That could be something very, very special. That could be very special. Comparing Last of Us with old, boring games such as Destiny, like, shut your mouth. Destiny is one of the best shooters in existence still. Destiny launched 8 years ago. It's closing in on its 10-year anniversary in the next 2 years. And it is still the best shooter in existence. Only rivaled by Apex and Titanfall. Only. Oh, those are the only games that come close. Nothing feels as good as Destiny. Nothing. Halo Infinite and Apex and Titanfall, they come close. but they're still second fiddle. They are still second fiddle every time. I can't even play the dadgum game, and I'm here telling you, it is literally the best feeling shooter in existence. It's not the best feeling shooter. I mean, you can disagree with me all you want. I don't think anybody gets the shooting feel as good as they do. The only games that come close are Apex, Titanfall 1 and 2, and the new Halo Infinite feels pretty dadgum good. Apex is the best feeling shooter. Apex has got great shooting mechanics, but Apex doesn't have everything else. The movement, the weightiness, the physics of your character, it's more than just the gunplay. It's you're in the game. You're in it. Like, if here's how I'll say it. Apex, just based on gunplay alone, right, is immaculate. But the minute you start comparing the weight of the player, the movement, the physics, the feeling of being in the game, Destiny wins every time. Yeah, Borderlands got gameplay significantly better in Borderlands 3. I'll admit that. The gunplay in Borderlands is really, really good. In 3, they made it significantly better. The weightiness of those Jacobs weapons, like, they feel great in your hand. Yeah, sound effects, all of it. The art, the reload animations. Destiny is immaculate. Destiny's gunplay, from the sound design to just take the... What the frick gun is that? What gun is that? The Ace of Spades with the Memento Mori, right? Just take that gun and break it down. Okay? Just from the sound design alone. The fact that they add that little metal ping to the hammer sound when Memento Mori is procced, the glow of the weapon, the reload animation, there's a weight to the gun in the player's hands, the sound, the feel. That gun it's like the magnum opus of gun design in Destiny. It's so it is absolutely brilliant. Whoever worked on that gun is an artist. Like, it is absolutely beautiful. Thorn also, the Thorn, oh my gosh. The recoil pattern, the feel of the gun, the reload animation, the art, the glow. Like, absolutely immaculately designed. Destiny is the best shooter in the business. Yeah, Hawkmoon. What gun? Ace of Spades. I think Ace of Spades is the magnum opus of gun design in Destiny. From the style of the gun, the weight of the gun, the sound design, the reload animation, the way the gun feels, it's the magnum opus of gun design in Destiny. It is a work of art. It's absolutely beautiful. Now, next in line, I would put, like, I think the Outbreak, whatever it's called, the Outbreak Perfected, or it was Outbreak Prime. I think that gun, and I think the Sleeper are the next in line of just being beautiful guns, unique and iconic to Destiny. Those guns are absolutely wonderful. They're injected with lore. They're injected with the Warmind stuff. The Warmind stuff is so cool. Yeah. The literal magnum opus quest. Nah, frick that gun. No. Ace of Spades. Yeah, Malfeasance is very good too. Oh, the mouth. Oh my gosh. The Malfeasance. Ooh. Ooh. That gun, dude. I'm telling you. You remember guns, right? They say remember reach. Well, in Destiny, you remember guns, bro. King Sovereign with a $5 tip. Sony talked about an aggressive strategy going forward using this technology. I've seen speculation that it could affect Project Spartacus as well. Yeah. Another piece of the puzzle. Another piece of the puzzle, yeah. With Spartacus, they want to have live service multi-platform presence because that's going to make Spartacus potentially very, appealing to users. The guns have personality and souls in that game. Yep. Huckleberry. Another good one. Yeah. It's undeniable. It's undeniable that game is the Sunshot is a beautiful gun. Beautiful weapon. DMT is probably the best new gun. It just hits different. Yeah. I couldn't tell you. I haven't been able to play the game for an entire year. Hey, 3 more coffee orders coming in. 2 Frickmas and a light roast to Lawrence. Thank you so much. Getting fricked in February. Use code GETFRICKED to get 20% off the Frickmas blend all month long, and then it's gone. You guys are blasting through the inventory. 3 bags of Frickmas to Telorn. Thank you, Telorn. 3 bags of Frickmas to Neon Z. My wife and kiddos are going to be busy. They're going to be busy packing up the coffee. Thank you very much. Don't forget, we have a light and a dark roast as well, but we're really, really happy to see you guys blasting through our holiday blend right now in February. It was the most popular flavor in November and December. It's my wife's favorite right now as well, so I know you guys will all be very pleased with the purchase. You're going to miss it when it's gone, that's for sure. You'll miss it when it's gone. Graviton Lance, oh yes. What a gun. Lono, thank you for your outright honesty today, whether it be positive or negative. Another reason why new folks should stick around. Your coverage is second to none. Listen, if I don't I'll talk about myself for a minute here. If I don't earn a little bit of respect today, dadgummit, and a little bit of admiration from the audience for being honest and having integrity, covering a game and a company that treated me horribly, if I've not earned some of your respect and maybe some of your allegiance to come back on a regular basis, order coffee, or become a member, then I don't know what the frick I have to do. If I didn't earn any of that today, I'll never earn it from some of y'all. Jiminy Christmas. Covering this dadgum game and company. I love Destiny as much as everyone else in here, but what do you think Sony wants to accomplish as purchasing Bungie? Much respect. Thank you, Droop, for the 5 spot. They said it in a Sony blog. I'll read it to you. So amazing. This is what they had to say. They said, Bungie is a great innovator and has developed, this is the important part, they have developed incredible proprietary tools that will help PlayStation Studios achieve new heights under Herman Hulst's leadership. They want that proprietary technology. They want the live service multi-platform. That's what they want. Yeah, I've seen that, Wheezy. I've seen it. The FTC's looking into that deal. It'll still go through. It'll still go through. They're going to slow it down. They'll slow it down, but it's still going through. You still can't sit in orbit. That's all that matters. Fett with a $5 tip says, for my respect fee. What did Bungie do to you? All kind of things. We don't like to get into the sordid history, but yeah. I have it on good authority from one of their ex-employees that they ran with a narrative and intentionally wanted to deny me due process. I have it on good authority from a former employee. Where's the quote? They made sure to push hard the narrative that you were guilty without due process. End quote. Yo, Zooth coming in with a brand new membership. Enjoy the dope badge and emote, Zooth. It isn't him, Salty. I wouldn't talk to him. I have no desire to talk to him. That's not who I'm speaking with. Thank you, Zooth, for the brand new membership, man. Taking us to new member count 6 for the day. Thank you so much. 4 more new members, and we'll hit 10 for the day. There's another one, Lykios Tesseract coming in. Thank you so much. Enjoy the dope badge and emotes. You are dope and deserve dope stuff. Is that public record or a private conversation? Private conversation. It was about how the IGN coverage was bogus. They liked my coverage, and then they went on to inform me about other things. I joined somebody's stream last night, and they were flat out insulting people, criticizing the deal, basically saying if you work at Subway, you're too stupid to have an opinion. Well, I believe that Waldo Emerson is correct in what he said, in that every man or person is a genius in an area that I am not. And so when you view people in that way, you have a higher admiration and respect for them, as well as their different viewpoint. So, I can't, I would never dismiss somebody because of, like, where they work or their status. That's classism. That's hateful. I don't understand why anybody would think that way. D Crew with 2 months. You're a good dude. Glad to call you a friend. This shows you are above a company, and glad to be here. You're above that company. Glad to be here supporting you. Thank you, D Crew, for 2 months. Lono just needs to spill the tea. The suspense is killing me. I'm not spilling that tea. It's not worth it. Do we think Sony will clean house at all, or can they? No. This quote is extremely important with respect to that. Bungie will remain an independent and multi-platform studio and publisher. They are independent, okay? Sony, I don't think Sony's saying that for this reason, but it could be one very minor part of it. Like, listen, they're independent. So if the next couple of years the levee breaks and all those people start speaking out that were paid to be quiet, basically, and the abuse hits the public's eye, and the fact that they've protected abusers, if that hits the public eye, then Sony can be like, they're an independent developer. They're not operating underneath us. That we helped fund this new effort, and we got some great technology from them. But they're independent. So they're independent until they don't produce results. Yeah, maybe that certainly is possible. The former employee that spoke with me said that the toxic culture and the retaliation culture comes from the top. He attributed a lot of that to Parsons. So it doesn't sound to me like they actively cleaned house. It sounded like they said, everybody shut the frick up. Just shut up about this. Take some money and be the frick quiet. There are people at the company right now, if you go read the IGN article, there are people at Bungie right now that said they wouldn't go into details about things that happened for fear of retaliation at the company. That means either abusers are still there, or there is still a toxic culture of retaliation that you get in line, shut the frick up, or there will be consequences. It's how they've handled the whole situation. It's how they handled me. It's how they handled the public when all that stuff went down in June of 2020. It's how Bungie handles these sorts of situations. It hasn't changed. And according to the former employee, that it's still well in play. So that's called corroboration. Okay, when IGN says people are fearful to give details about abuse for fear of retaliation, and a former employee tells me that retaliation and toxic culture comes from the top, it comes from Parsons, that's called corroboration, meaning you can take it to the bank, that it's still a very toxic work environment. It hasn't gotten any better. Or it's gotten better at a surface level in a superficial way so they could get some puff piece from IGN written. But I'm telling you, this could potentially blow up again in their face. This was their attempt to put a lid on it. But as all lids are prone to do, they start to leak and blow eventually. Silent Magician with a $5 tip. Hello, no. Despite everything that happened, it's bittersweet hearing you speak about Destiny with love. Hope you're having a great day. Thank you for the 5-spot, Silent. Maddie Jarvis coming in with a 5-spot. Bungie seems to have a secret sauce for long-term live service games, not to mention how to market it. Bungie's trailers are always top-notch. That's true. Dan's-a-tastic with a $25 tip. Just because. Keep up the great content in general. Heavy nostalgia with this convo. You are the king of your craft. Thank you very, very much. Some of that pressure can come from staff too. Don't mess this up for us type of a thing. Sure. Really hope this is the last time you have to cover them for a while. Even hearing about their shadiness gives me headaches. I mean, The other thing this former employee told me is he said the IGN coverage wasn't accurate. They said folks were pressured to sign non-disparaging agreements. He said, no, that's not true. We were forced to. Now, I want you to think about what that means. This is a person that left the company and was forced to on their way out. Why? Because they don't want the dirty laundry out there. Think about what a victim felt in that exchange of power. Being forced to sign an NDA with a hefty check of hush money. You keep this frickin' quiet. We're paying you handsomely. Don't you dare ever talk about this again. Right? In that exchange, who's abusing their power? Who is perpetuating abuse? We have power and we have money. You be quiet. You see what I'm saying? Like, they haven't ended abuse culture. They've merely kicked the can down the road. They should not be praised one iota for that IGN article because it's not accurate to what happened. And it hasn't even allowed the true stories to come out. We're basically celebrating them for paying people to be quiet and forcing people to sign non-disparaging agreements. Why are we clapping? It's insanity. It's insanity to praise them for that. It's freaking bonkers. But if they've proven something over the years, is that their content creators and their community are cult followers that will lap up anything they spit out into the public. They will drink lukewarm milk and tell you it tastes like sweet tea. It doesn't frickin' matter. Like, nobody read that article and saw it for what it was. This is a waving of the hand, some kind of a sleight of hand magic trick to hide the fact that you had a culture of toxicity and abuse, and you took care of it with money and with non-disparaging agreements. They don't deserve praise for that. Every business has the right to do that. Who are you to judge them for that? Oh, I am the one to judge them for that. I'm not the one who knocks, but I am the one to judge them for that. If there's anybody who has a right to judge them for covering up, hiding, and paying people to be quiet about misconduct, it's me. Life flows with 3 months of membership. Cheers, Lono. Blessings to the family. Thank you. MJ with a $10 tip. Here's a 10 for your integrity. We disagree on a few things. Cough D2 in a month. You helped me through some dark times, brother. Since Purple keep pushing, the formula cannot be replicated. My man, thank you, MJ, for the 10 spot. Do you think they care about you judging them? Do you think I've ever given a single iota of care about what they think? You got this backwards, my friend. You seem to think that I care about what they think. Yeah, every company has a right to perpetuate retaliation culture and abuse by paying victims to shut their mouths. Yeah, they have a right to do that. We're very small cogs in the gaming machine. Well, the right cog trips up the big one, and it can cause mayhem. So, my spirit animal is when Ricky Gervais told Jerry Seinfeld, when you are not beholden to anyone, you're immediately more interesting. I'm not beholden to that company or that culture or that community. I don't give a frick about any of them or what they think. Why would I care about what false virtue people think? Why would I care about that? Do you care what criminals think about you? No. Why? Because you see them as what they are. When you see that culture and that community for what it is, why would you care what they think about you? You care what some of those streamers and YouTubers think about you? Why? They're nothing special. Nothing special about any of them. And they're not particularly nice people. He really said it's their right to have an abusive culture. Yeah, read that for what it is. Do you work there? You in here on an alt? They have every right. We have every right to be this way. Every company's like this. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Yep. Uh-huh. Everyone will keep buying their games. I saw you playing New World. That's from a company that doesn't give a crap about their employees for years. See, you seem to think that morality and ethics are judged by economic or commercial success. You're conflating the two. You can be a truly horrible person that makes a ton of money. Is the money going to cleanse your soul or your mind? Is it going to make you whole again, put you back together? No. You hollow yourself out to make these things work. And for what? We gonna rub quarters and dimes on your body to clean you up? Tell that to every employee that got exploited by Amazon. See, I think you're making a fundamental mistake in that you think every company does it, and therefore that means I am somehow unable to speak on it if I happen to support a game or company. What keyboard are you typing on right now? What technology company are you supporting? Where's their product made? How do they treat their employees? You don't know that. You couldn't possibly know that. Are you using an Android, an iPhone, or using a Samsung TV? What technological devices do you use throughout the day? And do you take the time to research where they outsource their production, where their machinists work, where their manufacturing is located? How do they treat those people? How do they treat those employees? Do you know all of that? No. Then you're not any more pure than me, so shut the frick up. You don't get to sit on some self-righteous, high horse and act like you're somehow in some position to speak on these matters. There's virtually no way to ethically consume anything in the technological world without supporting some company who outsources their work or has their employees treated poorly. Does that make it right? No, but it certainly doesn't mean that, you can't speak on it because you bought an iPhone. You can't speak on it because you own a Sony PlayStation. Oh yeah, Bobby Kotick this, Blizzard Activision. You supported World of Warcraft. Therefore, you can't speak on these issues. That is the most inane, most stupid way to gatekeep criticism. To act like you're somehow like the Jesus Christ of technological consumption and you've committed no sin. And therefore, you can speak on these issues? Who are you? Yeah, where do your t-shirts come from? Where do your sneakers come from? Dallas has chosen to talk like this too. When people were shocked that not all people involved in his show weren't Christian, he stated, "We don't have control over everyone involved." Every company has pros and cons. Don't play the games and don't get involved with the politics. That's what I do. People are so obsessed with talking about Bobby Kotick. The only thing that you can do is you can call out the corruption when it becomes known, right? And yes, you certainly can follow that up with, I'm not going to support that game, right? Now, if you're going to point to, Amazon mistreating some of its employees or whatever, and you're going to then logically conclude that I should not support Amazon Game Studios, well then you can't support anything they do. You can't support the Purple platform. You can't support any of the streamers that stream over there. You can't support a single initiative or business attached to them. It becomes impossible. You see what I'm saying? I think you can call out really, really bad behavior and not necessarily have to be like, well, I'm not going to support the game. And here's why. I think in general, you end up maximizing the damage. So in the Activision Blizzard situation, there are people at the company that are innocent. There are people at the company right now working on projects that had nothing to do with the crap that went on at that company. Therefore, you simply maximize the damage that the bad actors have done to the company by saying, well, we're going to boycott the game. we're not going to play it, right? When everything happened to me with Destiny and with Bungie, what did I consistently say? I never once advocated for boycotting. I never once advocated for attacking their employees publicly. Never any of that. I said, don't do that. Number one, there are plenty of people at the company. I have it on good authority. There are people at the company that don't agree with what happened to me. They don't agree with that. They don't agree with using their outlets and their platforms to speak as they did about hearsay and gossip. They don't believe inside with the fact that you ban somebody from the game over literally nothing. Like they don't side with that. There are plenty of people at the company who don't buy into that culture of like it's almost like this zealot, like this fake form of righteousness, and there's just these zealots out here browbeating anybody who doesn't agree with their social action and their political views, and then they're going to wail on anybody and make examples of them. There's plenty of people at the company that don't think like that. What do you think 800 employees all think like they're juvenile, immature CMs? They have some of the worst CMs I think I've ever seen in the gaming industry. You think all 800 employees at Bungie behave like those children on Twitter? No, they don't. They don't. So you don't get to maximize the damage on the company to be like, well, there were bad actors, there were people in the HR department that were protecting abusers, and, Bungie executives decided that the best course of action was to pay for silence and force people to sign non-disparaging agreements, and that somehow is an indictment of the entire company, and we're not going to support it. There are people at the company right now working on guns, season pass items, strikes, like missions. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are plenty of people at the company. Why maximize the damage on the company? You understand? Like, the corruption has hurt plenty of people. It's hurting plenty of probably projects and employees. It's probably hurting careers. It probably has damaged careers. There are people that left the company over that crap. And they don't want to work in the industry anymore. And because of that, I think that if you determine, well, no one should support the game. The irony here is I was talking about the dishonest reporting from IGN, how it was PR, how it shouldn't be believed, how it should be properly viewed. Not once did I say boycott or don't buy the product. Not once did I advocate for that. Look at all of my coverage of any of the situations. I've never said don't support them or boycott them. I've never once advocated for that. So I'm not inconsistent. I've never once advocated for the boycotting of any of these companies. I didn't advocate for the boycotting of Activision Blizzard. I didn't advocate for the boycotting of Destiny or Bungie after they personally and maliciously attacked me, my family, and my business. I didn't even advocate for it at that point in time because it was probably one person or a handful of persons. It wasn't the whole company. It wasn't the whole product. It wasn't. And so you're not going to see me like boycott a game or not cover a game because well, Amazon treats its employees bad, so I'm not going to cover or play New World. Meanwhile, Kotick is still there because it benefits the merger. Yeah, well. If it goes through. Yeah, we still have channels related to Destiny in the Discord. We do. We allow a partner that we partnered with. We allow Wolvie and Crucible Coliseum to promote and advertise his content in the Discord. It'll go through. I think it'll go through. Yeah, the FTC's looking into it, but I think it'll go through. I can't see it not going through. It might get slowed down. It's possible. It's possible that it gets slowed down. To add to that, you were literally still playing and talking it until they banned you. Yeah. Yeah, I like, there was a certain special kind of misery having to do that. Knowing now what I know, knowing that it was a planned thing, knowing that they were driving a narrative at the company and saying, don't give this guy due process. They were part of the plan. They were part of the denial of due process. It's what they wanted. That narrative was driven at a company level. That is corrupt as frick. But that's what hubris and self-righteousness will do. Hubris blinds you and thinks that you are the determiner of justice. They're drunk on their own hubris. You can see it in the way they interact with people. You can see it in the way that people of similar mindsets tell people, if you voted for such and such person, then we don't want you to watch our channel, right? It's the same idea. They've determined that they're the holy ones, and anybody that doesn't get in line is worthy of destruction and dismissal. No, I didn't badmouth them. No. That wasn't what it was. Plenty of people have badmouthed the game and knocked the game and trashed the game, and they don't get banned. That's not what happened. Yeah. The FTC shut down the NVIDIA thing. Yeah. And so people are worried that they might shut down the Microsoft acquisition of Activision Blizzard. Yeah. Let's look at the poll. Wow, a lot of votes on the poll. 1,400 votes. Sony buys Bungie. Is this good or bad? 74% of you have said that this deal is good. You've said that it's a good thing. Glad the stream became more chill again. Thought you were going to explode there for a second. Listen, I'm committed to truth. That's what I'm committed to. I'm not committed to activism or call to action or brigading, like, all of those people. I'm committed to the truth. So when I was talking about the IGN article and the truth about how Bungie handled its misconduct, I'm not concerned about activism and brigading and call to action and boycotting. I'm just committed to truth. This is the truth. I've never not been committed to that. In the 2 years that it's been since everything happened, all I've cared about is the truth. That's all I've ever fought for. Do I think it's good or bad? I mean, removing all bias, it's probably incredibly good for all parties involved. It's probably good for all parties involved. Because if you like Destiny, then Bungie now has the means to expand and either give you more Destiny, or they don't have to pull away from existing bandwidth on Destiny. In either scenario, that's better for you as a fan of Destiny. If you're a fan of Sony and the Sony platform, this will empower Sony to lean into very lucrative and successful lanes that are becoming, pretty popular, right? And I think it could also benefit other property, right? Ghost of Tsushima, other Sony property could benefit from this deal. And what else was I going to say? Like, if you think of the golden days of Destiny was seemingly, and this is subjective, but I think a lot of the community would agree with this, Destiny seemingly was at its best when Bungie had multiple studios of support, right? So High Moon Studios and Vicarious Visions was likely considered the golden era of Destiny. When you got, a season of opulence, and then right after that season you got a DLC, and then the seasons that followed, they all seem to reverberate from the bandwidth and the quality and the support that they had with Vicarious Visions and High Moon Studios. Now, if you contrast that to where they've been right now, they seem to be struggling because it's just them. So they lost High Moon, they lost Vicarious Visions, they're trying to stand on their own. Right? They're trying to stand on their own. And so this will likely bolster them to the place that they need to be with respect to, according to Parsons, that the first and most immediate thing you're going to see is hiring talent across the entire studio. If you want to help us put a dent in the universe, we are hiring across all disciplines for Destiny 2 and for all New Worlds beyond. So basically, Parsons, he just got a checkbook to hire people, is what he did. He was like, oh, thank you. Right? And now they can get Bungie's bandwidth to where it needs to be with respect to where they were in the past to a certain degree. Now, they may be able to get to a better place, okay? They may be able to get to a better place because Vicarious Visions and High Moon weren't necessarily under their arm. They were under Activision. This could help essentially fold in true bandwidth growth for the company. Hiring, and Sony has so many support studios. That's also true. Maybe hire a new HR department which actually works. Well, the head of HR stepped down. I think she was meant to be their sacrificial lamb of like, you know, we just got exposed for, you know, corruption and bad dealings. One person steps down. Wow. Company-wide culture of toxicity, retaliation, and protecting abusers, and apparently only one person needed to step down and all is well. I don't think people realize the support structures available to Bungie now. Yeah. The level of bandwidth and support that they can now have could likely get them to like a really, really good place. When do you think this will have impacts on D2? You won't see impacts on the quality you receive in that game probably until Lightfall or the seasons that follow. Either Lightfall or the seasons that follow. It's not going to affect anything for the next 18 months. You won't see actual bandwidth, content, substantive benefits for another 24 months easy. So nothing this year. Witch Queen won't benefit from it. None of the seasons this year will benefit from it. Nothing until post Lightfall, I would think. That's when you'll start to see it. Like the seasons that follow Lightfall, I wouldn't be surprised if you see headlines like most substantive season ever. Like people are going to be talking about how better those seasons are because they'll have more bandwidth. They'll have entire teams working on seasons, which that parallel development really served, you know, Season of Opulence and the Menagerie and a lot of that content was served very well by the fact that they had like a literal studio working on the season. Like an actual, think about it, instead of like a team, they had a studio working on Season of Opulence. If you can get there, if you can get to that point, then I think you'll have a big difference in substance. But again, you won't see that until post Lightfall. Less reskin content will be a good indicator of the rise in quality. As someone at ground zero, how easy or hard is it to catch up in Destiny 2? Homie, I don't know. I've not touched the game in a year. I have zero clue. Apparently new player experience is still pretty bad, from what I've been told. I don't believe Destiny will change at all. I believe it's humming along just fine, so additional investment will be made into other profit opportunities. That's very possible because they want, Sony's going to want ROI on this deal. Sony's going to want ROI on this deal. Don't freaking kid yourself. Like, don't kid yourself. They're not gonna be like, hey, that's fine. Yeah, Destiny's doing great. Yeah, thanks for all the tech. No. When's the Halo stream start? In about 45 minutes. Sony Entertainment has a large reach in regards to writers, voice actors, celebrities for future IPs. For sure. For sure. Do you think Sony will give Bungie an IP to work on? No. No. Bungie already has IPs it wants to work on. They've got Matter, whatever the Tencent money was for. Yeah. There's no doubt in my mind that they're gonna want an ROI from them, but I do not think they're gonna say, oh yeah, hey, we need you to make this game for us. I don't think that's what Sony is wanting from them. They want the technology. They want the proprietary technology, the multi-platform live service expertise, yeah, all of that. Does Sony have a history of being hands-off with purchasers? More recently, yeah. I mean, as far as we can tell, they were pretty hands-off with Housemarque, with Returnal, pretty hands-off with Insomniac, you know, Sucker Punch. They don't seem to be, you know, pushing for interference and things like that. Bungie wants to maintain creative independence. But again, we don't know how the contract was written. I lean toward Bungie baking into the contract a ridiculous amount of protection against that stuff. Because Bungie already had, you know, unpleasant experiences with Activision and Microsoft. Lono had to take an entire bottle of antacid before this segment. I mean, I can do a mental health check-in for you guys and say that it's been a year almost exactly. It's like we're like 20 days away from it being like a year. And it just doesn't, I just don't care anymore. I had very little qualms this morning speaking objectively about the quality of Destiny as a game, you know, speaking about why you don't need to boycott the game. You know, I don't know. You know, 6 months ago, I don't know how I would have handled it, but you know, I obviously don't hesitate getting out a machete periodically and slicing where I think it's deserved. But I also I've not been very bothered. I've not been bothered by this. I don't know. You have to, like what she says in Doctor Strange, like you have to rise above your demons, right? You don't learn to live with them, you rise above them. And I felt like today was fairly easy to rise above, because I don't think they don't really have any sway. I don't know. It was like when I just went through and blocked everybody. It was like, I just don't care to see any of you people anymore. You know, you don't exist in my universe. You know, why should I let them exist in my universe? You know, it just hasn't bothered me at all to cover this. It's flown by. Funny enough, it's flown by like I'm scheduling the Halo. I'm scheduling the Halo stream right now. Like, we're just gonna keep on humming along, doing our thing. Like this is one ripple in the ocean of what we do. This has not been disruptive in my mind. It was a little disruptive yesterday, but I wasn't prepared for it. Kind of came out of nowhere. Today, yeah, at noon. They shut down Sony Liverpool and recently rebought the teams that arose out of that? Huh. Sony has eyes on FPS games because they lost Activision Call of Duty Early Access. They've not had that for a really long time. From Mondays? Yeah. We definitely have had to, at some level, we've had to push Elden Ring stuff when it hits, because there's too much coming out. Apparently, I've not went and looked at it. Somebody said this morning that Game Informer released new footage again And I don't know if it's a breakdown. New area. No, it's a breakdown of the existing footage. Yeah. They're just cashing in on their footage. So, nothing new hit Game Informer. Somebody said that a little bit ago, and I was like, oh, no, really? Which means, you know, I say it like with a smirk on my face. Oh, no, I have to cover more Elden Ring. Oh, no. Please don't make me cover more Elden Ring. The opposite of love isn't hate, it's indifference. The fact that it's irrelevant to you shows your strength as a human and as a man is inspiring. Well, I appreciate you saying that. We have had 13 coffee orders today. Thank you so much. Don't forget, we are attempting to clear out our Frickmas roast, the holiday roast, so you can get fricked in February. We've had 13 sales today. Tons of coffee has sold. Use the code GETFRICKED for 20% off. We're almost down into the final 100 bags just from today. So thank you so much, everybody who has ordered the coffee. If you've ordered any shirts on 80s Tees and used my code Lono or any displays today, we greatly appreciate that as well. Give me a second. Take the poll at the top of the chat. Keep the discussion going. Almost 1,500 votes on the poll. I will be right back. I'm going to take a brief break, and we'll continue the discussion. And don't forget, we do have a second stream today about Halo Infinite and Battle Royale and the dev team that might be working on it. All right? So I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Oh. Whew. Oh my goodness. It's so cold, man. It is cold. I don't know where y'all are, but here we got a cold front coming in, another one. We're talking like, oh, it's not gonna be nearly as cold as they said. It'll be in the 40s. Friday it's gonna get really cold. It's cold in the house. It's only 52 outside actually. Why is my house so cold? What's your Amazon code? I don't have an Amazon code, but you can use my affiliate link. If you use the affiliate link, it just gives me a little bit of a kickback, but you don't get any kind of a discount or anything. So you can use the Amazon command in chat, and it'll let you support me in that way. So, we've gotten, in the last 30 days, 251 people have clicked. So that, that's great. That doesn't mean that many people have ordered, but, people are continuing to use that affiliate link. Yeah, my code still works in the Epic Store. Yeah, code Lono. Yeah. You can use code Lono at 80s Tees, use code Lono in the Epic Store. But for like displates and Amazon, you just have to use the link. There's not really another way to do it. That's how they do it. We are trying to get some new displates. I'm having trouble getting in touch with my contact. With everything that's been going on, I try not to fear the worst. Hopefully this guy's okay. But we're trying to get in contact with him. We just haven't been able to. I might have to reach out and say, hey, is there somebody else that I can speak with about, being handled as a partner? Because I don't know. He could be indisposed. When did the Dying Light 2 reviews drop? I don't know what kind of an embargo they have on that sprinting snail. So the game launches Friday. You might see reviews Thursday. When's the first SNTR Sports segment? Yeah, I don't know about all of that. Cliff's notes from your talk about today's subject. It's largely... Okay, so there's two motivating factors here. Sony's motivating factor is they want the proprietary technology that Bungie's developed that they're interested in will help Sony Studios. They're also interested in their expertise on multi-platform live service. Bungie needs capital because Bungie's trying to expand. They want to double their employee base, for I don't know, for quite a bit. Sandy, I did not call this out. I am so sorry. It was 9 minutes ago. Sandy with a $10 tip through Super Chat says, hello, Lono and everyone. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. Do we know if reviewers even have copies? I don't know. Hang on. Dying Light 2 review. First 2 hours have leaked. Ultimate of Times has given it a 4.9 out of 5. Is it worth buying? Today we're going to look at Dying Light 2. Before you buy, you must know 18 things. Number 2, the day and night cycle. I can't tell if this is a real review. They're giving it a very strong score, but I don't know who the Ultimate of Times even is. It doesn't look like any of the actual official outlets have said anything. Yeah, nobody's saying anything. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. The embargo's down tomorrow. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to tell. I'm not seeing anything in my news feed. Okay. Blocked. No, I'm not seeing anything in my feed about it. No, nobody's mentioning the embargo. Nobody's mentioning anything. Nothing. Seems like there should be chatter. Yeah, I'm not seeing any hints or anything. You know what's also interesting is they're not doing the whole we're going to give this gaming outlet footage. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of the times what they're around now. That's what they would do. Check the Dying Light 2 Twitter feed. All right, hang on a second. All right. Anything about changes coming to YouTube for streamers? So the whatever her name is, I forget. What's her name? Linda, whatever. She posted a blog the other day and basically said, what was it called? So I'm sorry, not Linda. Susan was Chicky. I don't know how to say her name. Jiminy Christmas. Susan, basically the CEO, said, "Here's our priorities for 2022." I was a little disappointed that there was like a single paragraph for YouTube Gaming where they were like, "Hey, we got a bunch of big streamers, and we're set to do." What did she say? I'll read it to you. She talked about grabbing Tapman, Ludwig, and Lupo, and she says that in particular, we are focusing on better live discoverability and more chat features. And our teams are working to make it even easier for creators to use and generate game-related shorts. Coming up this year, we will also roll out one of the top requested features, gifted memberships. So that all sounds great. When's it happening? It could happen in August. It can happen in August. I mean, better live discoverability, that sounds great. We've been getting great discoverability, so I feel like they've already implemented some of those changes. This channel has just been humming. It's just been a vibration of activity and discoverability. And we have been very, very pleased with that. But they haven't done anything that we want to see with... the chatting experience is not very good for live streams. The monetization for live streams is not very good. It's I don't know. Why acquire big streamers if not a lot of focus? Yeah, so Pokimane, I believe, is coming to YouTube. This afternoon, I have a video hitting split screen. We have another channel, by the way. Called Split Screen. And right now... here, I'll show it to you. So this is Split Screen. This is our larger channel that we commandeered, 47,000 subs. Split Screen is basically an esports and industry news casting desk, and today we are covering Valkyrae staying with YouTube. Her announcement video was fantastic. She is about as charming as a postcard. She is so nice, and she's got a video on her channel of like the behind the scenes of how they filmed her announcement video. Her announcement video was hilarious, and so we cover that. Valkyrae stays with YouTube. This afternoon, we'll be covering the fact that it seems that Pokimane will also be coming to YouTube, so be sure to check that out this afternoon. And then that channel gets a live show every Thursday afternoon and Friday nights. So make sure you're still subbed over there. Make sure you still have maybe even a membership over there, because on Thursday afternoons, we do a casting stream, and on Friday nights, I do a casting stream with Hilly. So tons of stuff over there. If you're a paying member on this channel or on that channel, you can submit challenges for I Can Cast Anything. We did, let's see if I can find it here. So we did this one here, I Can Cast Anything. You can see where my mouse is. Somebody submitted a how to solder wires video, and I shoutcasted it for 10 minutes. So make sure and check that out too if you miss it. If you're a paying member, that is something that you can take advantage of. So not just esports, you're the only person who can shoutcast welding. Yeah. So make sure you're subbed over there. We should have, I think we have a split screen command as well. If you're not subscribed over there, that channel was basically 5 years of Destiny coverage. We have unlisted all of that content. It was like 13 million, views worth of content. So a lot of people have now started unsubbing from the channel because they're starting to get, hit with content that they're not interested in. And that's perfectly fine. If Pokey comes, the rest of OTV will most likely come as their contracts expire. Yeah. That's what I think is happening. Yep. I think that I called it in the in my Ludwig coverage. I said that they will have a talent drought over there. They will have a talent drought. Ever shoutcast Trials? No, I would never shoutcast Trials. I cut my teeth. I mean, Split Screen cut its teeth with Trials, but we would never go back. Yeah, we don't want to put any Destiny content on that channel. Yeah. What made you rebrand to Split Screen for the full channel, replacing what was once there? Because that name didn't make any sense anymore. we were covering industry news. We wanted to get back into shoutcasting. We wanted to get back into that kind of coverage, and split screen made sense for that. Split screen is more than a segment now. It's a whole channel. You know? So it didn't make any sense to call it SNTR Presents. It was like SNTR Presents was a podcast that was initially born to be like a variety podcast, but it spent 4 or 5 years covering Destiny. So it just, that name didn't make any sense anymore. It's like, that's not what this channel's about anymore. So I don't want people even looking for that anymore. Like, why are you looking for that? You're probably looking for Destiny coverage. Well, you're not going to get it. So it makes sense to rebrand it under a heading and a name that encompasses an entire branch of content that I enjoy creating. Yeah, it takes a while, Greg. It takes a while. Because when we switched the name from Stand of Rage to SNTR Presents, it also took a long time. Yeah, because if you search Stand of Rage, it still pulls up split screen. It pulls up split screen. Yeah, it's going to take a long time for that to work. It has something to do with the SEO history and the algorithm. So yeah, it's all. The other thing is that split screen is a gaming term. So it's likely to have a hard time being like, oh, that's a channel. You know what I mean? So the Tenrai event is this week. Really? Can't post this in Discord. My lungs collapsed. Oh, Wheezy. I love that the guy asking the question is like cliche, just like white dude too. He's like, what does he think it stands for? Why can't we have this? That's good. That's good. I'm deceased. No, I'm not showing it. No, it's a joke. It's a joke about race, and we can't get into that here. Holy moly, that's funny though. That is freaking funny. Always preface with "don't read on stream." Yeah. When I searched for split screen, the channel doesn't show. I had to search for I Can Cast Anything. Yeah, the segments of Drop Die Cast and I Can Cast Anything, they will likely really, really help us. Because people will, it like, I think, Wheezy, I think people will start to search for it. Like, I think I Can Cast Anything in 6 months is going to be like a thing that people look for. You know what I mean? Because they'll be like, oh, this is hilarious. Like, this guy is casting, like, an old woman, teaching people how to knit. So, yeah. I'm excited. I think we have good segment names that'll probably be a better draw and it'll be more searchable than split screen. Split screen's just like a great name and a great brand, but it's not necessarily like super searchable. What is searchable is, the segments. Also, you got to consider when we start shoutcasting Call of Duty and Apex, that is another element, I think, of just a great funnel of meeting new people. If you search split screen channel, then you're right there. Oh, really? Split screen channel? Yeah, people might search for that. Yeah, split screen channel. Oh, there is somebody else named Split Screen from a long, long time ago. We might want to change our name to like Split Screen Live or something. There's a channel with like 400 subscribers called Split Screen. It's a pretty generic name, and I did that on purpose, but we might have to name ours a little something else. There's a channel called Split Screen Games. There's a channel called, Living Split Screen. Yeah. There's it's a pretty generic name. So we might have to call ours like something different. So when you see it in the feed, you'd see Split Screen, I don't know. We'll come up with something maybe. Did Dr. Disrespect know you were shoutcasting him? I don't have a way to reach out to Dr. Disrespect, but generally speaking, those guys don't care about that kind of a thing. We grabbed 2 wins and shoutcasted it. The guy's got 6-hour streams all week long, and we grabbed 40 minutes. Like, I can't see those guys caring. I really don't think so. You don't necessarily have to ask permission because it's transformative. It's brand new content. It's only a portion of what they do. Guys that size don't give a rip about that. You know what I mean? We did it on a Friday night when he wasn't even streaming. If the content becomes popular enough, he will. I mean, even then, I don't know. I don't think. I don't know. I don't think that those kind of guys care about that kind of stuff. Now, they might be like, oh, that guy's really talented. He's really good. Let's do something with him. Let's work with him. But even then, I don't know. They tend to want to work with other just Leviathan content creators. We're likely never going to be at that level. I certainly think that we're going to grow in popularity and we'll grow in reach, but I don't know if we're ever going to be at Timmy's level. Or Doc's level. That's just incredibly unlikely. Those types of growth patterns are very strange and anomalous. You know what I mean? So, there's entire channels dedicated to clipping and putting them in montages. They don't care. Yeah, they don't care about that. He understands DMCA to not be a jerk about it. Yeah, we're currently dealing with that for one of the things we did, but it's fair use. So we're not doing anything that's not totally everything we're doing is legitimate and on the up and up. So it's I'm not concerned at all about any of them giving a single rip about it. It's just that like this week we're going to be doing Call of Duty. I mean, we'll probably go grab Tim, because he's got great rage outs. We'll probably go and grab a couple wins by Tim. Tim ain't gonna give a frick. He ain't gonna care. Wonder if he let him know, wasn't worried about DMCA or anything, figured he probably didn't care. I don't have a way of letting them know. Now, that could change. We could get inroads and communication could open between me and some of these guys, and I could say, hey, do you have any really amazing games you want me to use? You know what I mean? And they might be like, oh yeah, there was a killer game the other night. Go snag that one. I mean, I don't know. They're super busy. That's not really why we're doing it. We're trying to establish our own brand, our own show, and our own content. And on Friday nights, 40 minutes of the week is dedicated to kicking off the evening with a pretty big content creator, and then that's it. That's out of all the entire content structure of the channel. I'm not primarily concerned with we got to get in good with these big content creators. What we really want to see over there is we want to see the channel turn. We want to see the channel turn, hit 50,000 subs, and have a growth pattern. That's when they'll start paying attention to us. Nobody's going to pay attention to us now. 1 in 2K viewed videos. That's great. We're moving in a good direction, but we got work to do, man. We got to put in work over there. The big guys aren't going to pay us any mind currently. I mean, to be quite honest, we're nobodies right now, but I think we're laying good groundwork, and I think, long term, those doors could open, but that's not why we're doing it. I think this is one of the primary failures, and it's an unnecessary frustration point for purple streamers. I think purple streamers buy into this mentality of like they're doing content or playing games or doing things hoping to get in the in crowd of the other people, and when they don't get there, they feel slighted and jilted, and it affects their content, right? So you never want to structure your content around like, well, I hope I get to work with Doc. He's my white whale. I'd be elated to work with the man. I think he's a visionary. I think he's forward thinking. I think he's brilliant. I think he's a very gifted entertainer. I think he saw an avenue in the market that virtually nobody was capitalizing on in a big way, and he did in spades, and I have a massive amount of respect for him. He also endured, public hate, scrutiny, and scandal, and he did it and survived, which gives me a special avenue of respect for him. He's a family man. He's got a daughter. Like, I like him a lot, but I'm not gonna like do things hoping to work with the Doc. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's not why I'm doing it. If that ever happens, I'd be so happy, but it's extremely unlikely that it'll ever happen. You know what I mean? Do you think any of those guys would work with you? Seeing you had a thing with, I mean, with respect, I don't think he has sway over stuff like that. Not anymore. Like, I mean, I'm not trying to give somebody a dose of humble pie, but I don't think he would have sway over any of that, personally. Guys, Nightbot reminding you to get fricked in February. We are plowing through our Frickmas blend coffee, our holiday blend coffee. It'll be no longer available once we're out of February, and you can use code GETFRICK to get 20% off the Frickmas blend. And then after this month, it is gone. We've sold like 13 orders today. I don't know how many bags. Tons of individual bags. Josh, you're talking the Bungie buyout? Well, this is how I looked at it, Philip. This is how I looked at it. I think the show has evolved significantly from where it once was, and I have evolved significantly from where I once was. And I figured a bunch of people that probably haven't watched me in a long, long time will find me. Maybe it'll convince them to come back around. And people were going to come in and hijack the show anyway. Like, we covered Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard, so why wouldn't we cover this? People were going to come in and be like, dude, why aren't you talking about this? What the frick? And they would have hijacked the stream. Anything I would have tried to talk about, it would have been just absolutely consumed by, what people want. Now, somebody tried to give me grief yesterday in the comments. They were like, when Microsoft bought Activision Blizzard, he wouldn't talk about it. He just continued on with his show. And when this happened, he disrupts the entire show to talk about it. Well, that's not freaking true. We were halfway through the show, and I was like, let me give you my hot take. But then I did my research and put together a show for today. When the Activision Blizzard thing happened with Microsoft, I addressed it all throughout the day, gave people very brief thoughts, and said I would cover it tomorrow. I did the same thing this time. So, Lono said he wouldn't. I never said I wouldn't cover Bungie. I covered Bungie when the IGN story broke, Philip. Have you not been paying attention? I never said I wouldn't cover Bungie. I said I wouldn't cover Destiny. Do you see me covering Witch Queen? Do you see me covering, seasonal content, criticisms of content when new people couldn't play the new content? I've not covered their game. I'm covering Bungie. I covered Bungie when IGN wrote the article, Are you going to talk about the biggest story, though? New York Times purchasing Wordle? That guy, 7 figures. Good for him. People were coming in chat in droves more when Microsoft Activision thing happened. Well, it was a bigger buyout, $70 billion for an entire, basically publisher. Activision news broke like 20 minutes before the stream. yeah, there wasn't anything I could do. It was like, I'm not going to change what we've scheduled. We have the stream scheduled. We have a title. We have a description. We have a thumbnail. I'm not going to change all that. And I certainly didn't do that in the Horizon stream. It was just some doucher on an alt trying to take a shot. Like, how miserable are you? They either watched that entire stream or went looking for it. Like, we didn't talk about the Bungie thing yesterday until about halfway through the stream. So you're either that committed that you watch the entire stream to sniff out some semblance of hypocrisy or inconsistency so you could leave some smarmy comment. What a miserable person that, whoever that was. It's like, okay, get blocked. I don't even know who you are. You're on some alt. Been with you since King's Fall? Well, then you should know, Philip. I said I wouldn't cover Destiny. I'm happy to cover industry news. I mean, Sony, we cover lots of Sony stuff here, and they bought Bungie. I mean, me not covering that would have been odd. I caught your ICCA of Chris Fix. Great clip. Love that creator. Did you tag him? Do you think people like that will reach out? We tagged them and we gave them credit, and they're trying to claim the video. We're fighting it, though. It's fair use, so they won't. I can't see them winning. The video is muted, and it's completely derivative and transformative, so more than likely, some employee did that for him. Their channel is enormous, so they probably got a ping in the dashboard, and then they just tried to claim it, and we're fighting it because they can't claim the video. It's all it's completely original. Can't even hear what he's saying. So, but when you have a channel with, what has he got, like, I don't know, 3 to 6 million subs, somewhere in the millions, he more than likely has somebody that just does that for him. And they probably didn't even watch the video. They just got the alert that part of their content existed somewhere else, and they're like, and they send it, and they hit the button. So we're going to fight it, and we're likely going to win because it falls under fair use. The video is muted. It's not full screen. It's completely transformative. My commentary happens during, throughout the entire video. So, yeah. When you have channels that large, they should know better. They should know better than just to, automatically do it. But when a channel is that large, it's possibly somebody just doing it for him that didn't even look into it. So, I'm glad you stopped covering Destiny. I personally love the game. You had a brand to grow. I appreciate that. If people aren't going to look, what's the point of having people? Well, because it doesn't really hurt him, right? It doesn't hurt him. So, it's not going to hurt him for us to win, right? I'm not even going to bash him for it. I'm not going to go make a video and be like, he's out here claiming videos. It's like, no, it's probably just somebody that did it for you, and they should have taken the time to look because, I don't know, YouTubers are supposed to treat other YouTubers with a certain amount of hey, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt here. Let me watch the video. Claiming other YouTubers is kind of a faux pas on the platform. But with content like that, they likely have a lot of people doing re-uploads, so they probably hit them pretty quick. You play any future Bungie games? They have the backup to probably make really good new titles. I don't know what we're going to do when Matter comes out. I don't know whoever pulled strings that hurt me will have those strings to pull again when Matter comes out. You know what I'm saying? Whoever did what they did, I mean, dev banning me on Steam for 500 years, I mean, somebody was doing something shady. That's not a normal ban. So, I don't know. We'll have to see what kind of game Matter ends up being. I honestly don't know. I prefer the format Lono does now anyway. The variety content's great. I mean, I appreciate that. That's why I was willing to cover it. It's look, we're variety. This is gaming industry news, and, I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm going to cover it, and then we'd have the morning show would have been hijacked the entire dadgum time. You know what I mean? What's even going on? This channel randomly popped up in my recommended. Oh, well, thanks for being here. So Sony has bought Bungie, but in a different way than traditional acquisitions. Bungie will retain independent and creative freedom for now. And it's, as far as I can tell, there's two aspects to this. Bungie needed capital because they want to grow, expand, and hire tons of people because they have they want to get into publishing, they want to launch a studio in Amsterdam and all this stuff, so they wanted capital. And Sony wants Bungie's expertise in multi-platform live service, and they also want some of the proprietary technology that Bungie has developed with respect to that. So Sony Studios is looking to benefit from the proprietary technology and as well as the, you know, the the proprietary technology, as well as their expertise in the live service multi-platform. And also Bungie needed capital. So that's basically a too long didn't read of the news of what happened. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen, Teddy. Going to log in and already be banned, I can't see them doing that. I can't. By the time that game launches, you want to swing that bat at me again, you're welcome to. You know, you're welcome to. You'll look real dumb. You'll look real dumb. You know, you can't keep swinging that bat in 3 to 5 years, because it won't go well for you. It certainly won't, because there'll be too many people invested and too many creators that, you know, aligned with me. That will not go well. You can't keep swinging that bat. Eventually, you got to put it down and just make peace and just leave me be. I don't think that would be a very good idea. I also don't know if it was something that was approved of at a high level either. We have no idea. So, you think this can lead to other games, which could lead to Destiny downtime? Oh, eventually Destiny 3? I had no idea. No idea. Right now, we know that they want to continue investing in Destiny 2. They want to invest in Matter. They have some type of probably a mobile game that Tencent paid for. And, you know, they want to grow. They want to get into publishing. You know, almost as dumb as false flagging a YouTube video twice. Yeah. You get to a point where you're like, okay, enough is enough. This isn't gonna serve any purposes, right? Like, what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? With where we're headed on this channel and our growth patterns, you're gonna take a swing in a couple of years at a channel with 100,000 subs. Is you think that's a good idea? You know what I mean? We don't even play games like that full time anymore anyway. It would likely be like, we'll play it for a little bit, we'll cover it, we'll review it, we'll give feedback, and then, you know, we got other things that we're going to be doing. So that would be, I don't know, that would likely be a very dumb decision to do that. When we hit 11K yesterday, and now we're like 11-1. So didn't they say it's finished after final shape? I don't know. I have no idea. What's Matter? It's the code name for whatever they're building. It's the code name for whatever they're building. We don't know what kind of game it's going to be either. Yeah, maybe Creature. Yeah. Yep. Oh, it was from NetEase, not Tencent. Sorry, NetEase. They got money from NetEase, not Tencent. Surprising to see how quick you flew by 10K. Well, 10K is a milestone that YouTube respects. They respect it, and we're very consistent, and you guys are incredible with your support. So YouTube really, really loves us right now because we're extremely reliable. We have a very, very discernible schedule. We have a very, very strong support viewership base every single day, and we have a very respectable sub count now. You hit 10K and they look at you a little different, you know. When we hit 20 and 25K, they'll look at us a little bit different. That's how it works. It's basically like ranking up in a video game, right? Like, oh wow, okay, well you put the time in, oh okay, and then it helps you. So milestones are a big deal over here. They better respect Lono, 27-minute True Monk Slayer. That's right, baby. Are you under NDA regarding YouTube gaming future development? I am. I've seen things that I can't talk about. I've seen good things. promising things. They have said that they are investing in live stream discoverability. I can say that's true. It's in a blog. They said that they're doing that, and I can say that that is true. I'm encouraged by what I've seen. I'm discouraged by the slowness of rollout, but I suppose I would take that over what Purple traditionally did. Purple would crank out, feature after feature after feature after feature after feature, and it would break the website for like a week or two. It was always really frustrating. Purple has the best moderation tools, the best monetization for live streams. They have the best spending culture, but that can be replicated over here. And when you start bringing big players over here, like I believe Pokimane is probably headed here. They just re-upped Valky Ray. And they got Tim the Tapman. They got Doc. I think this is YouTube's year. I think this is the first rudder turn. Very slight, but this will be the first rudder turn for the live streaming ecosystem to shift. I think this is when the crown will slowly slip from Purple's head, and this is the first year that it starts to slip, right? I think it'll take 5 years, maybe more, but I think the crown starts to slip this year because they're going to lose too many big streamers. And their ecosystem is built around people streaming for long periods of time, and that's going to create a burnout and talent drought. And yeah, it's going to continue. How do you create the spending culture? I, for one, refuse to give money to content creators on YouTube. Yeah. Creating a spending culture. If they would like to pay me for, consulting, I'd be happy to consult with them, since I successfully created a very high spending, community over on Purple. I had 6,000 paying members before I left, so if they want to consult with me, they're welcome to do that. My advice, info, and input ain't free. That's for sure. It ain't free. I'm not about to give away free ideas, because we can leverage the tools they give us to create, a great spending culture in our own stream. I'm not about to give those ideas away for free. Do you know what I'm saying? My insight is pretty valuable, and I'm not about to just be like, here you go. Let me make a YouTube series on how they could do this. No. Pay me. You know what I mean? They might not even need me. They got their own research teams. It's not hard to watch what Purple's done. You know what I'm saying? So we were a top 1,000 earner. Well, when we lost the channel, we were top 100 earner. You're not Harris Heller? Yeah. Harris Heller combed through all of my Twitch talks and stream stops. I'm convinced that's where a lot of his content comes from. Like, bro, you watch my stuff. I'm kidding. I don't think so. He just conveniently says so many of the things I used to say. It's like, I said this 2 years ago. The dude, he hustled, man. He hustled. He grew a pretty good brand pretty quickly. Halo Infinite Battle Royale dev team? Question mark? We're getting ready to switch gears here, chat. Why are you speaking poorly of your mentor? Yeah, Creature always goads me and says he's my mentor. I'm like, my mentor? I was like, he says stuff I said 3 years ago. He's just better looking than me. And so he has this massive freaking audience lapping up all his insights. Like, I said this a long time ago. Okay. Sony buys Bungie, tell me more. We're shifting gears. This live stream is coming to a close, and we're shifting to a different live stream. So if you want to come with us and talk about Halo Infinite Battle Royale dev team, you're welcome to come with us, or you can rewind this VOD and get my insight and my breakdown. It's at the very beginning. If you rewind the VOD that you're on right now, rewind it to the beginning, the first 5 minutes, I give you a very quick breakdown of the situation. And the link in chat, or that's pinned at the top of the chat, is where we're headed. Hey, thanks for clicking on the video. This is going to be another episode of SNTR Gaming News talking about Halo Infinite Battle Royale and the dev team that might be working on it. We will also be checking out the weekly store update with the items and what's available. They have had some more commentary about the store items and why they can't break out the bundles and have them sold individually, even though people are asking for that. If you like these breakdowns and these weekly looks at the store, remember to hit subscribe and the bell button so you don't miss my streams. I'm going to end the previous stream and bring everybody over, and then